Well, a very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck to Sim live stream. Today is the 22nd of November 2023, minutes past 8 in the evening in the United Kingdom. Where do we even start with this one? Absolutely incredible. My first ever payware aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator is one of the earliest ever, most successful monoplanes in history. We are in the Blériot XI by Wing42. This now suggested by one of my members and moderators, Finley, about 2 days ago. I thought, well, I'll go take a look. I just found it absolutely fascinating, so I purchased it, took it for a quick flight, and I thought, wow, what an awesome aircraft this is. Now, I got in contact with Wing42 and they were very excited to say, yeah, go take it streaming, and they very kindly given me a free copy to give away of this fantastic iconic aircraft, and on top of that I'm actually going to purchase an additional copy to give away too as well. So we're going to do two giveaways today, and we'll be replicating two extremely historic flights completed by this aircraft. Of course, it goes without saying this is probably the most famous, one of the most famous flights this aircraft did was the iconic flight over the Channel, the first ever powered aircraft to complete a flight over the English Channel back in I think it was 1909, by Mr. Louis Blériot himself. So we're going to be flying that first. We're all ready to go. We'll talk about the flight quite shortly, and then once we've landed, we'll have a very quick break. We're actually going to be then completing a second world record breaking flight, which was a real flight flown by, I think, a Spanish pilot by the name of Jorge Chávez, who was the first person to fly this over the Alps. Now, I have practiced both these flights. By far the most challenging, bizarrely, is this first flight, because not only do we have one Blériot XI to fly, it comes with Wing42. There's several variants. This is the early version with the very underpowered, it's called the I think it's called the Anzani or Anzani engine. It has about half the power
50,
of the
40,
later Gnome powered
30,
aircraft,
20,
and it is extremely difficult to fly in comparison to the two. We'll talk about them later during the stream. Thanks a lot, Lewis.
This is for a new mouse from Tesco. There are, however, other supermarkets available. Thank you for the stream.
Cheers, thanks a lot, Liam Bark, for the £10 there. I am in dire need of a mouse. My mouse fund is building by the day. I'm going to get myself one of those smart Logitech ones, but we are still using the cheap old Tesco mouse for today. Hopefully, it'll be completely fine. Captain 3054 says, are you on VATSIM? I'm not on VATSIM, afraid, today, as you can imagine. But yes, as I said, this aircraft is absolutely awesome. I've done a couple of practice flights just before we get going, because it's literally about 4 or 5 steps to get the engines running, and that's it. We're pretty much off. We'll talk a little bit about the flight itself. If you look at the video description below, you'll find a little bit more detailed information about our two flights today. As I said, these are two real-world flights which happened, 110 years ago. And also, if you look at my Instagram story, you can also get a bit more information as well. So, here we are. We're currently just outside of Calais. This is, I think it's just called Calais Aerodrome here. And obviously, on the real flight, where this aircraft took off from, was from a field, and I've been advised the field is less than 2 miles away from where we are, but obviously we need to start at some airfield or something like that in Microsoft Flight Simulator. The weather, this aircraft does not like unsettled weather, so I have made it a little bit easy for myself. I've given myself a 4-knot headwind for takeoff, and you'll see the maximum rate of climb for the aircraft here. Oh my goodness me, have I done that? The maximum rate of climb for this aircraft is 100 feet per minute. At full power, 100 feet per minute, and we'll be using every inch of this runway, and I have to really use ground effect to get this aircraft airborne, otherwise we're in trouble. And we need to stay at full power for the entire flight, and by the time we've crossed the Channel, we will have probably made around 2,000 feet or so. Very challenging to fly, and there's different levels of realism with the aircraft as well, different levels of difficulty. This is the most difficult version in Microsoft Flight Simulator, very challenging to fly. The latter one we're going to fly over the Alps is a little bit easier. It's got a more powerful engine, a little bit there as well. Now, I had to position on the runway because you can't taxi this aircraft. There's no ability to do that. And we're all pretty much ready to go. Now, for the flight, I'll just show you up here. There's a little map here. Now, how do I bring that little map up in Microsoft Flight Simulator? It's not using those controls. Well, I can bring Navigraph up, which is very useful to have on the side for me here. So here we are geographically, just to the southwest of Calais, very close to where this original flight took off from 111 years ago. And then we're going to be... Trust me, guys, this aircraft, you you can't just turn. You have to really think about turning. If you turn more than 15 degrees angle of bank, the aircraft will descend at full power. You've got to really plan ahead with aircraft. With this aircraft, it is so underpowered. So you've got to climb straight ahead, and then we're going to try and attempt to make a right turn. It's going to be a lot more difficult than it is, and then we're going to head over the English Channel to Dover. Flight should take around 40 minutes to an hour, based on how successful we are. But anyway, that's it. I'm going to do less chatting now, and we're going to jump into the cockpit here of this fantastic aircraft. If I can remember the controls for Microsoft Flight Simulator, that is. Let's just do it that way. Into the cockpit. There we are. So, no instruments, no altimeter, no airspeed. All you have here is your joystick. So, you know, you've got left, right, up and down, just like a conventional aircraft. However, there's no ailerons, okay? So the way the aircraft rolled around its lateral axis was to warp the wing like this. So that's how we're going to do that there. The engine is not a typical piston engine aircraft as well, unlike older or new engines. It's a rotary engine, and you control the power of this aircraft. Essentially, you just set full power, and then you control the power. If you want to slow down, you blip the ignition, essentially, the magneto switch to slow down, but you don't really ever need to slow down because it's so underpowered anyway. So you just essentially leave it at full power, and in real life they're very unreliable. They often overheated. After an hour the engine would cut out. It's going to be very fascinating, but I'll do it justice. I know Wing42, developer of this aircraft, the guy who runs it, is in chat here. He'll hopefully answer any questions as well if you have them, because I'm certainly not in the right place to find here. But yeah, let's get the show on the road here. This takeoff, guys, is going to be really quite something. Very likely I'm going to veer off the runway because the rudder is useless, absolutely useless on this aircraft, as it was in the real aircraft. I know they've gone to a lot of effort to replicate how this aircraft flies in real life. Right, so starting in the aircraft, I'm just getting the instructions in front of me. So we are in the Anzani W3 engined version of this aircraft. So start the engine. First, make sure the fuel valve is fully open. Refer to figure 8, so you've got to kind of duck your head underneath here. There is the fuel valve just here. So it is open. You can see there's the main fuel valve, and it is in the open position, so that's good. Make sure that the chocks are in, because there's no brakes, so if you just start the engine with no chocks, the aircraft will start rolling. So they're in. Look, you can just simply put them off and on here, but thankfully the runway is relatively flat, otherwise you will start rolling. Switch on the magneto by pulling the magneto lever back to the active position. You can see here it is in the active position, so that's good. And move the throttle to 50%, which I'll do now. There we are, so that's full, that's about 50. And move to the propeller view and rotate the propeller to start the engine. So let's give it a little whirl. So it's really cool. Look, you grab it here and you physically have to spin it. And we're in business! Look at the go! Right. Well, guys, there isn't really much more to it than that. I think what I'm going to have to do is turn the... Is it a bit loud? Let me know in chat. If you want me to turn the noise of Microsoft Flight Simulator down, let me know. So I should think it's extremely loud now. APU on. Clear prop, but yeah, we're all pretty much ready to go. It's loud. Yeah, I thought it would be. I'm going to turn the volume down slightly in Microsoft Flight Simulator. How's that? That should be a little bit more acceptable. But very, very loud here. I just love this thing. I cannot stress, I mean, this is a study level aircraft. This isn't just some arcade version of this aircraft. You watch this now, this is going to be an absolute challenge here. But look at the cylinders firing here. Absolutely wicked. Anzani. This is a motorcycle engine, believe it or not. But guys, we're pretty much all ready to go. All we've got to do is set full power and release the chocks, and you just hold on tight. Just watch how this aircraft accelerates, and do not judge me at all, guys, because it is extremely difficult to control. I think I forgot to put the oil gauge on. There we are, oil gauge. There we go. So I think that's to make sure the oil gets to the engine. It's a good job I remembered that. I hope that's the fuel level. Maybe I need a bit more fuel. Right, are you ready, guys? Full power. There we go. Toga's in chat. Release the chocks. Watch the acceleration. We're on our way, guys. Right, I've got to really concentrate here. So I'm full down on the nose. Remember, this aircraft has a maximum rate of climb of 100 feet per minute. And if you bank more than 15 degrees, the aircraft will descend. So the rudder is very ineffective. It's essentially not doing anything right now. Right, it's going a little bit more effective now as we accelerate. We're still dragging that nose on the runway. Here it comes. It's coming up. Oh! And I'm going to rotate. And I think we're airborne. I told you it's really difficult to fly. We're heading towards the trees. That's not good. Oh no! Oh, I don't want to crash on my first ever takeoff here. Left turn. Oh no! A quick external view. There you go. I'm telling you, I can't control it right now. Oh my goodness me! I thought you'd find this amusing. Oh, I've got a full right rudder. This is not going very well, guys, compared to my earlier test sectors. Right, well, we touched down again. Let me just... Oh no, I'm going literally full right on the aileron as well. Are we on the ground? Trust me, on my test flight, it was very similar, to be fair. I think we might have to attempt this, restart this flight. I'm telling you, this is so difficult. And I think I might have broken it. Oh, there we are. Right. Okay, and the engine's cut out. Great. That's because I cut the throttle to idle. So if you go idle, the engine dies, and this is full power, so I'm stuck already. So we're going to have to start again. I'm telling you, this is very difficult, and it took me several attempts on the first takeoff. The Gnome-powered version is far easier to fly, but this is the hardcore rest in peace version. So what we're going to do is, I can't do anything. Well, actually, what I can do is slew back onto the runway. So I'm going to do that quickly here. And we'll try again. Of course, I'm not going to do this for flying. That's completely cheating. I'm just going to put myself back on the runway here. And make sure we're completely lined up. This is the RIP version of this aircraft. And I'm telling you, I've done one flight and it took me 4 or 5 attempts. So we'll try again. That's technically my first ever crash in a stream as well. It wasn't a crash, I technically landed. Right, let's try again. Full power. That's why I love this aircraft as well, because it's so rewarding once you get it. Right. So you really have to warp those wings to kind of aid with the roll control, and I'm trying to use as much runway as possible. So here comes the nose up again. Oh, there's full left rudder, full right. Try and build up a little bit more speed here. Right, I'm airborne now. That's better. I'm not heading towards those trees now. Oh, you have crashed in St. Martin, you're right. I did technically hit the runway there. Right, that's going a little bit better here, but this is... I can't really put the nose up much more than this, guys. I have very little lateral control of roll and pit, in roll or rudder here. I'm basically just trying to climb up in a straight line. Now we need to get as much height as we can before we head on our way towards Dover. So we're heading in the wrong direction, as you can imagine, but we're airborne. Look at that. We're airborne, we're flying. I can't believe it. The Blériot XI. What do you think, guys? You just got to get it to Dover now. Wow, there's 1,000 people watching as well. If you're enjoying the video, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. We're watching a real 737 captain try to fly a plane which is 111 years old.
50.
Fly 24.
30.
Fly 24, sorry. The Wing42. What did I say? Fly 24, Wing42 aircraft. Who was that there? Thank you very much, Blind Eye 1995. The phone case just arrived, looks mega. Thank you very much for buying the Flight Deck Sim phone case. And it's something that Louis Blériot wouldn't even know what it is. And we have another problem now, guys, because we are heading off towards a hill. And I don't think my rate of climb is exceeding the height of the hill here. I'm full power. And we're heading in the complete opposite direction. and it's turning left completely on its own. Again, just to show you, we're heading in that direction, but I need to get some more height, and then I can have a little bit more lateral control. So let me just keep climbing in this direction. This is the most, it's kind of turning left on its own here. Please clear these trees. Oh my goodness me. Oh no, I'm descending into the trees. This is so hard. Right, just imagine I clip the top of those trees. Okay, now it's turning left completely on its own. Right, now I need to get a bit more speed. Well, at least we're kind of heading in the right direction, but I had no control of that whatsoever.
50, 40, 30, 20.
And now, look at this, we're actually now heading, I think, towards Dover. Right, that's it. Now, please stay in a straight line. Let's lower that nose again.
Absolutely hilarious. I can barely see through my tears of laughter, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears of joy, tears
Oh my
of
God.
joy.
Thanks a lot, Tim Fraser. Oh dear. Can you just please remove the leaves from the rest of the aircraft? That would be great. Right, again, I'm just lowering that nose just to get a bit more speed. And with that speed, I have a little bit more directional control. But again, it's beginning to turn in the wrong direction. Look, it's turning left very much on its own. Again, once I get a bit of height, a bit of speed, we're on our way. But we haven't crashed yet, although a few bit of leaves and twigs are in the wings here. And don't forget, we're going to fly over the Alps in this, but we're going to be taking the Gnome-powered version, the Gnome-powered aircraft, and it's so much easier because it has an engine that's twice as powerful as this. But I have a little bit more control now. I am actually full right on my stick at the moment. If I centralise the stick, look, it turns left, so I'm actually full right on that wing warp at the moment. Right, clearing these trees at least. This is a little external view for you. Sensational. And well, we can't really screw up in there anymore as we go in this direction because we'll be going for a swim. Right, I'm feeling a bit more in control now. We have a much better speed. There's no trimmer in this aircraft, okay, so you can't relax your joystick. You're always having to make an input. But once you've got it at the correct speed where it's sort of in trim, it's not going to climb much quicker anyway. And again, it's just sort of wanting to continuously turn left. Look, you can see, look, I'm still turning left. I've got full right on my wing warp here. If I put in a little bit of right rudder, it sort of neutralises it all. But yeah, that's much better now. Much better. What is top altitude? The maximum certified cruising altitude of this engine variant is 2,000 feet. But that's much better now. Now we're making progress.
50,
so much
40,
better
30,
speed, much better
20,
airflow
10.
of the wing. We're on our way, guys.
You're overpowered.
Thank you very much, Oliver Strictly Come Crockin. Unbelievable. Reference to the fact we once tried to attempt to land a 737 on an aircraft carrier, and all X-Plane 11 did was moan at me, "You're overpowered." Thank you very much for your donation there. Thankfully, no aircraft carriers in Microsoft Flight Simulator. There we are. I see our studios now. We're sucking diesel. Like, absolutely brilliant quote from. Oh god damn it! That TV series we watched. My memory while streaming goes all out the window. Right, I'd love to know how high we are, but we
50,
don't have an altimeter.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Getting bored, everyone's leaning right on their sofas, thank you, because I'm constantly turning right here.
This is definitely worth the money. Just crying with laughter rolling on the floor.
Thank you very much, Steve Mayer, for the £5. Certainly better than watching Strictly Come Dancing, or whatever your dear wife would prefer to watch. Thank you very much for the continued support, buddy, and that's very, very kind of you. Right, just to show you on the controls here, look, I am full right, and it's just about, if I go neutral, look, maybe, okay, maybe it's just because I'm holding full right. If I actually just leave it, maybe now, alright, I'm going to neutralise the controls, and it is going to balance itself out, I hope. And I'm going to use primarily rudder to maintain both lateral control and control around the normal axis here. But, okay, again, we're probably, how many seconds ago did we take off from Calais? I can't remember. Can we actually see the airfield anymore? Oh, I can't. Do you imagine this 111 years ago? Outrageous. And honestly, when I did my 2 test flights, my arm was so tired. I had to keep swapping arms between left and right because you're constantly having to make inputs here. And I have a 4-knot wind in. You imagine if I put anything stronger?
50, 40,
Outrageous.
30, 20, 10.
Did you start the timer?
Outrageous. Thank you very much. Yes, my pocket watch is running as we speak, Kator. Absolutely incredible. Thank you. So, guys, this aircraft, after say thanks, a massive thank you to Wing42. Now, I am going to be giving away a copy of this aircraft after landing. What an aircraft it is to challenge yourself flying here. We're going to be doing 2 of the challenges, which are recommended as part of it. Obviously, we're doing the first one here. The second one, honestly, it sounds very difficult flying over the Alps. Doing it in this aircraft, forget it. It would never have designed to have done it anyway, because it can't get above 2,000 feet. But as I said, the other variant that comes with the package here, it has the Gnome Omega 7 engine, a genuine engine, which had twice the power of this Anzani powered Blériot. So yeah, it's a little bit easier to fly. Look at that though. I'm much happier with everything now. Once you get it up and a little bit of speed, you know, you're okay. But here we go, guys. Life jacket's on. We're about to go for a swim. Very easy to stall and spin as well, so you've got to be very careful with everything here. And again, if you're interested in seeing where we are geographically, there we go. So we've just left that tiny little strip here, just behind us, very close to the original takeoff point from Louis Blériot, and there is Dover, just here. And we're going to attempt, and I say attempt, to land in a field. Remember that this flight wasn't successful either, where we did crash onto the field. And you can see, look, we're already drifting off course. You know, this is so difficult to control. I'm going to make a little bit of right rudder input here to head off in the right direction. And this should take about 35-40 minutes or so. Sensational. And guys, don't forget, we're going to have a quiz. We're going to have a quiz with just 5 questions. It's a Blériot themed quiz. We're going to do it on the second flight, because on the second flight what happens, I have to climb to around 6,000 feet to get over the Alps, and then when we arrive at our destination we have to descend. It actually takes quite a while to descend, so I'm going to do the quiz in the descent into our destination on the second flight.
50, 40,
very entertaining.
30, 20, 10.
You're quite right, Boz.
Looking at the map is cheating.
You're quite right, Boz. Thank you very much for the £5. You're quite right. What Blériot had actually on the day was absolutely nothing, and the weather was actually pretty poor. I've got fantastic conditions. You can actually see the coastline of the UK clearly ahead of us. So yes, you're quite right. We shouldn't be looking at that here. Right, again, I'm going to let go of the stick here just to show you how unstable it is. So I'll let go now. There you are. So you have to constantly make inputs to keep her in control. Right, I'd love to know how high we are, but there we are. Bye-bye, France. And across the channel we go. How's the sounds, guys? Too loud in the cockpit? Can you hear me okay? You imagine if it was actually as loud as it was. I mean, it'd be all this airflow from the prop. You'd have grease and oil being spat at you from these unreliable rotary engines. What a thing. Oh my days. Thank you very much, Paul Clark, who's just bought a Flight Deck to Sim mug. What's your comment here? I was going to have a cup of tea, but something, I missed the rest there. Sorry about that, buddy, but thank you very much for purchasing a Flight Deck to Sim mug. I don't know if... Well, actually, you know what? That mug might arrive in time by the time we reach Dover. You can enjoy a cup of tea as we make the approach. Thank you very much. When is the alpaca livery coming to Portugal? Outrageous. Wicked. But yeah, I think it's an awesome aircraft. What a way to challenge yourself in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, there's 3 variants that come with the Wing42 Blériot 11.
40,
Got a
30, 20,
this one. Just saying.
10.
Thanks again, Tim. Absolutely crazy, man. attempt to land in a field. You've done that once. Technically true. Thank you very much as well to Kenny Ford for the £2. He says butter or go around. It is technically a Sunday, and you know every Sunday we do a butter or go around challenge. That's outrageous. Thank you very much. Very, very kind. So there's 3 variants that comes with the Blériot 11. And there's loads of different liveries you can choose from, actually authentic liveries from the time. We're currently flying the most difficult version of the Blériot 11. It's called the RIP version, which is the most difficult to control
50,
and manage.
40, 30, 20,
The controls are meant to be very realistic and for the time here, so you have to make constant inputs here. The engines have been required a little bit of work as well. The second flight we're going to do will be in the easiest version, which is the Gnome Omega powered aircraft, where there's actually a little bit of inherent stability added to make it a little bit easier, and it's recommended for people who are just purchased the aircraft to practice using that one. It is much easier to fly, albeit it's still very challenging, it's still very underpowered. So yeah, how exciting it is. That one, yeah, it was Kenny Ford there. Yeah, butter or go around. Yeah, I mean, as I was saying to the guys at Discord, if you don't butter in this aircraft, it'll fall apart anyway. I mean, the maximum rate of climb is 100 feet per minute.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks, Mrs. Mayer.
Definitely worth missing the end of Strictly Fur.
Absolutely insane. So if you remember about 10 minutes ago, if you scroll up in chat, Steve Mayer, one of my members, donated £5, saying this is definitely worth the money. Just crying and laughter rolling on the floor. I mentioned that Mrs. Mayer is probably quite cross that she's watching something else. She's now just donated saying definitely worth missing the end of Strictly 4. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Fiona. I don't know if you heard Mariana laughing in the background as well. I found that absolutely hilarious. Oh dear, oh dear. Yes, 25 horsepower. Absolutely. That's the maximum output of this engine, actually.
50, 40,
I am actually not
30,
looking at the map here.
20,
I know I should be heading in this direction. Thankfully, it's very good visibility today. Thank you very much, Peter Walsh, for the £5.
Oh my lordy, hope it's not too cold. Do you have your flask of tea?
Thank you very much, Peter Walsh, for the £5.
40,
Oh dear,
30,
it's absolutely
20,
freezing up here. I've got my
10.
scarf on, my moustache is big, keeping my face warm. That is absolutely insane. Thank you.
The prop is just a big fan to keep the pilot cool. If it stops turning, he starts sweating.
Exactly, Blind Eye 1995. That's outrageous. Thank you very much, guys. All very generous of you. Very, very generous of you. Thank you. The prop is just a big fan to keep the pilot cool. If it stops turning, he starts sweating. Better keep it on all the whole time because I am constantly sweating here. Right. Well, I'd love to do the view from the, whatever it's called here, the showcase view, but I really can't leave this aircraft. You have to keep making inputs in here to make sure you're going in the right direction. Again, all I'm doing is keeping one point here in my viewpoint here, so you see the kind of, I think these are meant to be representing the White Cliffs of Dover. I'm just keeping them pretty much in the same place in my view here. Someone would like a cockpit tour? Okay, I mean, alright, well, I'll start over here on the left wing. So as remember, there's no ailerons here, so I'll try and replicate here. So look, that's me left and right, and it warps the wings. It has an elevator, so you can control your pitch, and it does have a little rudder, albeit absolutely useless. That's how that's all working. It's basically bicycle wheels, undercarriage, which is absolutely outrageous, and it's all surrounded by basically scaffolding and a fabric frame. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? There's no seatbelt either. Just, that's the cockpit's all done. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, now, well, France is leaving us behind at least. And we're halfway across the channel.
50,
Well, we're near halfway across the channel.
30,
We're about
20,
a tenth of the way
10.
across the channel there. Tim again! Oh my days.
This is worth me getting up late for work though. I've not laughed so much in a long time. Flying hat and goggles to the ready.
Oh dear, thank you very much, Tim Fraser.
50,
You save those pennies on your kids, as we mentioned before.
30,
Very kind. I'm still
20,
looking at chat where I can.
10.
Very, very kind, Tim. It is a laugh, that's for sure. some fun.
Imagine doing your PPL on this bird.
Yeah, just imagine
50,
that. I mean,
40,
I think
30,
Wing 42 will answer this.
10.
There was a lot of aircraft flight schools were opened after everyone saw this aircraft for the first time. Everyone wanted one. Can you imagine seeing this in 1911? It would have been incredible. Like, first ever aircraft to do this. I think there's a newspaper article where in the UK where they actually said, look, the UK is no longer an island on the day after this flight. I was reading all about this. So fascinating. You know, flying aircraft in real life, to look back at the heritage of aviation is so interesting. Really enjoyed preparing for that stream here. Thank you very much, Will Hinwood, as well, for the £2 forward motion, only possible due to us rotation the other way. Oh my days, thank you very much, buddy. Wing 42, the thing in the rear is a big air bladder flotation device for the case you had to ditch. Are you joking? That is so interesting. So that's literally just full of air. So if I was to ditch, the aircraft would float. Absolutely interesting. Because I was looking at it earlier, thinking it was something to do with like a... no clue. How awesome. That's absolutely fascinating. Oh dear, oh dear. Right. It's so unstable in roll. Like in pitch, it's not too bad because it's pretty much in the interim speed now. So I don't have to make too many roll inputs in pitch, but it's just so unstable. You can see that we're constantly rolling left and right. Oh dear me. What are we doing for airspeed? Well, the cruise speed of this aircraft is 32 knots, so I should think we're probably flying a few knots below that because I'm kind of constantly climbing. I've got full power here. A little bit more about this aircraft. Some top trump facts: 25 horsepower, cruise speed of 32 knots, maximum rate of climb 100 feet per minute. Service ceiling 2,000 feet, range 52 nautical miles. Now that's a good point actually. Did I... Wing 42, is this the amount of fuel I have on board? I'm pretty sure in the Microsoft settings I set it to a full tank just to make sure I could get across. That's probably why it's so heavy. Ah! You know what guys? That could be why, in comparison to testing, Microsoft Flight Simulator, you know how it defaults to 50% of a fuel tank? I filled it up for this flight just to make sure I could get across, and that weight difference would be a huge difference in an aircraft like this. That might be why we struggled so much to climb, but it is true to its real counterpart how poor it was at climbing. There we are. And Brett, do a barrel roll. Outrageous. Someone did loop one of these, believe it or not. I was reading in the Wing 42 manuals. Wing 42 provides 3 fantastic manuals to this aircraft. There's an original Blériot XI instruction manual, albeit in French, but he's got some fantastic manuals talking about how to operate the aircraft, with the research behind it as well. And also included the 2 recommended flights, which is the ones we're going to be doing today. There's also a third flight, which is one getting over the Pyrenees in Spain, but that's going to be a real challenge. Hamza, when is the quiz? It's going to be later on in the stream, just before we land on the second sector. But don't forget, guys, if you haven't tuned in, we're going to be doing 2 giveaways today. The first giveaway will be after landing in a field. I say landing in inverted commas because it'll probably be a crash landing. And the second giveaway will be after landing in our destination Domodossola in Italy. So 2 people will be lucky enough to win this absolutely fantastic aircraft today.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks a lot, Andy M71 for the £5. Very, very kind of you.
I say, flight deck 2 sim old chap, it's valley chilly up here. Could you turn the air conditioning down a bit? Thanks awfully, tally ho old bean.
The old bean.
50,
Thanks a lot, Andy
40,
M71 for your
30,
very generous £5 donation.
20,
Love
10.
the old English speak there. Absolutely outrageous. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Crew 002 as well for the £2 of the continued support, buddy. Hope you're doing well over in Malta. Hello, Captain. I won't say the usual, hope all is well. If you're flying that thing, it can only mean that things have gone to the dogs. Did you take a lifeboat with you by any chance? We don't need to, Liquid 002, because I've just learnt there's an air bladder here. I'm going to hold on to this thing when we go for a swim. That's going to keep us safe. But that's probably worth our weight in life jacket. I don't think life jackets existed back in those days. I have no idea. Thank you very much. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Tim Simmering, in the next video, can a real world pilot cross the Atlantic with the Blériot 11? Yeah, could be a bit more of a challenge here. I hope they make a Vickers Vimy, and then I can do the across the Atlantic challenge, but I think that will take about 16 hours. That would be an epic stream. Oh dear. Just imagine this on VATSIM, trying to fly to Heathrow. Okay, report your approach speeds. Yeah, 22 knots. Okay, can you manage 160 by 4?
50, 40,
Not quite.
30, 20.
Thank you very much, Paul Clark, for the £5. Very generous, you said. Oh, Paul.
When I bought the mug, I said I was going to have a cup of tea, but watching this, I think I need something stronger.
Oh, Paul, not only did you purchase the Fly Deck to Sim mug, you also very generously donated to get your message across. Thank you very much. Yes, maybe something a little bit stiffer. I'll certainly need it after this stream here, because it is absolutely exhausting to fly, but incredibly rewarding and fun. Now, I said we wouldn't use any map here, but just to kind of show you our progress, we're approaching the third of the waypoint here. There we go. And this is very much cheating here, but just to kind of show you where we are. There is our destination, Dover. I should think, compared to where we actually got airborne, we are around halfway or so. I've got to get back in the aircraft because I cannot see where I'm going. You take your eye off the ball for 1 second, that's it. It's off in its own direction here. Wicked. Keep trying to have a look at chat as well, all the regular comments in here. Romco said check fuel again. Let's have a look here. I think this is the fuel gauge. I'm not 100% sure. Not 100% sure. We're drifting a little bit left here. So we're using a little bit of right rudder just to kind of yaw us back. So unstable. Autopilot on and take a nap. I wish. I mean, it doesn't even have any instruments. No airspeed indicator, no altimeter. Oh dear. Thanks, Wing42. Yep, that's the fuel gauge. Very good. So we've got about... Did I start with a full tank or half a tank? I've got just over a third of the tank of fuel left. Hello. Do you want to have a go? Oh! Mariana's dad's watching. And mum. Oh, fantastic.
Hola, bye.
Hola, bye. Tudo bem? Very good. You've got everyone watching today. Best be on my best behaviour if the in-laws are watching. Air traffic control, climb to flight level 500. Not quite. Right, I think we should put a little bit of music on in the background. Not that Blériot had any music to listen to on his flight. It's so loud in here though, you probably won't even be able to hear the music. Just to turn down Microsoft Flight Simulator down again slightly. No, it's just too loud of an aircraft. I don't know if you can hear the music or not.
50, 40, 30, 20,
Oh my days.
10.
Thank you very much, Gordon Smith, for the £5. Very generously, sir.
I hope you can make enough height to clear the White Cliff.
Thanks a lot, Gordon Smith. I am pedalling as hard as I can. Really, I am. Oh dear, oh dear. Thank you very much, Gordon Smith. Yes, the White Cliffs could be very intimidating, but I reckon, I don't know. I mean, trying to judge my height here, I reckon I'm around 800 to 1,000 feet or so. I mean, we're travelling, getting some good distance here, guys. I mean, so far so good. I just hope I don't have any engine issues. Can you hear the music at all? I can't. It's so loud in here. I just hope you can hear me clearly. As I said, I'm very reliant on feedback. Play period music. Yes, we should be really. I should have tried to find some royalty-free music from the early 20th century. Yeah, music is in op. I've got to turn it down so much further. You are clear, but can't hear much music. Yeah. How's that? It's so loud, this aircraft. That's my music on full now in the client. Have you programmed the Ecos FMC, said Pop Squad. Brilliant. I can't hear the string quartet sitting on the wings. Amazing. You know what, actually? That music is not befitting. I'm going to turn it off. I'd rather hear to this clunky 25 horsepower engine. I'd usually do that if I was in the 737 or the other aircraft, but I quite enjoy just having no music today, just listening to the air whistle past my ears. Captain, aren't you a bit too high? I feel like you're at 5,000 feet. I'm definitely not at 5,000 feet, sir. This aircraft would soon start slowing down here. I remember I put no wind or hardly any wind in the sim, so the water looks quite flat. In Microsoft Flight Simulator you get quite nice water effects there, but you can kind of see there's a little bit of... just I can't see where I'm going, guys, so I need to jump back in. And there's no way of reading my height here, so yeah, I just want to kind of leave it at full power, because if I am to have problems with the engine, I want to make sure that I can, glide in. I think it was actually said on the day that Louis Blériot completed his flight in the Blériot 11, had it not been raining, the engine would have overheated anyway, because of the length of time it took. So yeah, these engines at the time, the powered engine was very much in its infancy still, so they're very unreliable, unlike modern engines we're used to today. Is this Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, said Brad? Yes, it is. We're at top of descent for your arrival. Put the speed brake and let's slow for descent, said Chuckly. I don't think there's much we can do about slowing down here. The approach is going to be incredibly interesting, guys. You saw how difficult it is to control, so what we need to do is kind of find a landing point where there's no trees, nothing like that, and yeah, kind of can't even circle. You see how difficult turns are, on the departure. Very difficult to turn. So you kind of just have to plan your landing well in advance and make sure it's completely clear of obstacles. Now, a quick question. I might poll it if it looks a bit close. And again, I know I'm cheating here. Louis Blériot touched down very close to Dover Castle in a field and crash landed. I have here in the flight plan programmed a little gliding airfield. I think it's literally called Dover Channel Islands Gliding Field. I've not even seen it yet. Do you want me to attempt to land at the airfield or try to land in a field near Dover Castle? It's completely up to you. I'll try and get a rough consensus from chat. Bear in mind that Dover Castle is depicted as a 70s concrete block of flats in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but we'll go somewhere nearby. Land in the field. Yes, okay, I thought it would be field. Dover Castle field. Very good. I thought you'd say that for the authenticity. The Variant Eagle aircraft equals the speed brake. It's not the most efficient. It's like someone just flying into the shadow of a cloud or something. It's really dark in here. And I reckon, again, just bringing up that little map here. Look at that. We are halfway across the English Channel. Or the for any Frenchmen here, I shouldn't say English Channel, should I? I should say, is it the, what do they call it? The Plage or something like that? Authenticity is a bloodline. No, for the lols. It's the only reason you want me to land in a field, of course. How about a 40 knot headwind? Yeah, that's game over. Cruise speed to 32 knots. Oh dear. Well, you can see the white cliffs of Dover ahead. That's all I'm pointing the aircraft towards. In reality, I should have chosen low visibility, yes, because on the day, the weather wasn't that great when this flight was detected. Crikey, looks like it. I cannot stress enough, I'm not stopping making inputs on the joystick. You
50,
cannot let go of it.
40, 30, 20, 10.
Thanks again, Kato, for the €5. Oh dear.
Land on a carrier tongue out.
A tongue out, oh dear. Thank you very much, Kato, again for the €5. I mean, if it was X-Plane 11, no doubt some sort of ship or aircraft carrier would be here nearby for us to attempt to land on. It's go for a nice little external view again. There we are, looking very smart in my pilot hat and those fixated eyes and fantastic period moustache. Oh dear. I can just see how inherently unstable it is. I've just let go of the joystick briefly. It's constantly rolling left and right. Spiffing! Absolutely put like that. I'm already drifting off course here, so there's a little bit of wing warp to the right and a bit of a right aileron. Yeah, if I was doing this in live weather now, I mean any wind over 5 or 6 knots, it's very difficult to control, especially when coming into land. KO251, do you have live players on? You imagine live players on here. I'm just making my way across the channel. We would have 747s, God knows what else going on here. I am offline. Gareth Roberts, magnificent men in their flying machines. There's just some incredible YouTube videos out there as well of these guys, these pioneering aviators. Oh dear. Well, I'd love to know our height, but I should think we're just over 1,000 feet maybe. How long are we streaming for now? 49 minutes. Obviously we weren't successful on the first flight, because we had to re-attempt the takeoff. Probably airborne now for around 40 minutes or so. IFR certified. Deccan Leeward Spoker today. The two-blade Chevrolet propeller on this aircraft was the most efficient European at the time, rotated at 1400 to 1600 RPM. I read about that, poor Miller. It was going to be one of the answers in the quiz. This quiz is a bit of a toughie as well, so if you want to be doing well in the quiz on the second flight we're going to be doing this, have a quick look up on the Wikipedia page on the the Blériot XI, and some facts about that. There's some real tricky questions here. I certainly wouldn't have been able to answer these a few days ago. Okay, Foster, look out for bugs in your mouth. Brilliant. There we are. Can you imagine back in the war what a sight this would have been for so many hundreds of thousands of airmen, coming out from the raids, seeing this. Right here, absolutely not. You probably still get shot down for a mesh split, but yeah, you're coming back in your B-17 or your Lancaster, one engine's blown, bullet holes. What incredible period of time for those guys. 2 tons of love, mind the seagull on your 6. Oh dear, Andy M71, my nerves are shot here. Time for a whiskey, yeah. You can pour me one as well. Probably had a little stiff drink in his hip flask with the crossing. Right. It's getting there though, guys. Don't forget, this is actually the second time we've crossed the channel. Last time we did this was in a electric powered plane, an X-Plane 11, the Contraventus. If you type in Contraventus flight deck to sim in YouTube, you'll have an interesting stream as well. But that was darn sight easier than this. Jeremy, how's the fuel situation? It looks pretty stagnant, to be fair. Has that moved down slightly? Main fuel now, I want to turn that off, that's for sure. It should be going down, but I've definitely got use fuel on. It's on all the hardest settings in Microsoft Flight Simulator, real to world, hard, or whatever the settings are. And this is the hardest version of the aircraft in the Blériot line. Wing42, another fun fact, these type of engines were full oil loss engines, meaning the oil gets injected into the cylinders and squirts out with the exhaust. Wow. So the oil would just drain, I guess, every time this engine would run. I guess there's no, that's just like one small oil tank. I'm very clueless when it comes to me sort of technology behind these sort of engines and things like that. But you have some fantastic manuals that cover this aircraft, talking all about their history. Side effect of this was the pilots would always digest a fair amount of castor oil during a flight. Oh dear. Castor oil, I mean. Crazy. Cool. Yeah, in the next aircraft, actually I had a question for you, Wing42, the Gnome powered aircraft. The power and the mixture, I noticed, well, you got the 2 little controls on the other variants of the Blériot. I found that to get power to get over the mountains, I had to pretty much, I know it's not called a mixture lever, but I had to bring that all the way back just below the point where the engine cut off to get maximum power. So I don't know if that's sort of like leaning the mixture on the engine, but I think managed, without doing that, I couldn't get over the Alps. But, the Blériot, the one powered with the Omega Gnome engine, it's like a Ferrari in comparison to this. Sounds about right. Perfect. Oh my days. Well, it's getting closer, guys. There is the port of Dover. Dover Castle is around here. And we just need to find a little strip nearby. Now, I do have a rough idea of where to land this when I have my practice runs, but I did 3 landing attempts, 2 in the slightly easier version of the aircraft, that was okay. My only landing attempt to this hard one did not end up very well because I screwed it up and I dropped a wing on the approach and then clipped the ground on the left wing. You see, it's very difficult to control. And you have kind of one shot, it's sort of a bit like a glider. And as I said, if you bank more than 15 degrees, the aircraft will descend. You don't have enough power to maintain level flight. You're drifting towards Clacton, and that's actually a good point, because the weather, if you see, I did put a little bit of wind in the sim, I won't change it here, yeah, 2704 knots, so we are kind of being pushed, just like in real, how Louis Blériot was actually pushed in real life too far east because of the westerly wind. So yeah, we're kind of heading a little bit kind of more westerly now compared to where we left from here. We've been blown off course, which I'll show you on the map. There we are, guys. If you imagine, we kind of started here and we went in this sort of line, but I've been kind of being pushed this way because of that wind, albeit only 4 knots. It's enough to have a detrimental effect here. So it will take a little bit longer now. D-Space, are we there yet? Getting there, as you can see. Yeah, we're now heading very much more in a westerly direction. Benedetti 93, what's our speed? Excellent question. There is no airspeed indicator in this aircraft, but I should think we're doing around 25 to 30 knots. This is a really scary aircraft to fly. The Gnome variant is a tad better. Oh, so much easier. Wing 42, the Gnome variant, just like its real-world counterpart I've been reading about, was a much better aircraft because of the power of the engine. And I guess the airflow that produces over the rudder and the elevator, I don't know, but that's really well replicated. This is, I'd say, 4 or 5 times more difficult to fly. I love how on your manual you have little skull and crossbones next to the aircraft to represent the difficulty. That's so cool. I know, Yanis, yeah, you can taxi at that speed. Well, I don't know about you guys, but that land is definitely getting bigger. Can we still see France behind us? It's a fair distance to the pass. Is that an aircraft carrier? It's a ship, but I can't attempt to land there. There's another ship down there as well. Very cool. Do you know where to start for descent? Not really, not in an aircraft like this. We need to work out where we're going to land first, so I'm going to sort of kind of keep it at this altitude here, find out where we're going to land, and then try and do some large orbits here. But yeah, we've been drifted a little bit off course, I'm afraid. Showing you that map that I should have been coming in sort of this direction from Calais. That's where we started. We've been drifted a little bit further east. We should have been a bit more coming in towards the port here, but that's because that little 4-knot wind I set in the sim. That was all. 3 times your altitude. Not quiet, this aircraft. Don't forget the range rings. Very good. At least all the scenery's loading into Microsoft Flight Simulator. We had a few issues in yesterday's stream, but no problems now, it would seem. And that kind of gives you an impression now with the land, how little we've actually climbed on this crossing. Look, I've been full power since we left. I have not said anything less. The full power here. And I think, guys, I'm afraid to say that this here, I believe, is... You see that building there? Is a depiction of Dover Castle. It is a block of flats built in the 70s. That's what it looks like, unfortunately. And honestly, my arm is getting tired. But we've nearly made it. Oh dear, Aaron Hastings landing lights on, candles on. Outrageous. Oh dear, oh dear. Cade Foster, a channel swimmer's just lapped us. I mean, the channel crossing in a ship for a ferry today must be quicker. Outrageous. Well, it's getting there though, guys. We just need to find a nice little landing spot around the original Dover Castle, which was here. Fantastically, there's a memorial in the exact location where Louis Blériot crashed his Blériot 11. So if you type in Dover Blériot Memorial, you'll see it, and it's very close to Dover Castle, pretty much just here. Candles, yeah, candles would work. It is so slow, probably wouldn't go out. Wicked. Oh dear, I'm getting to get a bit nervous now. We've already had one incident on departure. But yeah, the next Blériot 11 we're flying, much more easier to control. I'm not going to start descent just yet. How's that fuel doing? I think that fuel's pretty much... Yeah, I don't think that's gone down. Oh, it has done a little bit, I think. It's about a third. I don't know how long the engine lasts for. I mean, the range, I think it said, was around 50 miles, and it flies at 32 knots, so... You know, that's an hour and a half of fuel. We've been flying, what now, for 50 minutes? So we have about 40 minutes left. That makes sense if I had a full tank. Don't forget to put your landing gear down. Outrageous. Getting there, across the pond. Oh dear, oh dear. That will probably take, what, 4 days, 5 days at this speed? And a lot of in-flight refueling. Is this aircraft capable of Cat 3 or Cat 1? Very good. Yeah, I'm so too, Runco, maybe. I know that Wing42 is going to be shortly releasing a hotfix for this aircraft as well. Because it's just very, just like many aircraft that comes out of the studio, very minor little things here. And he noticed I think one of the gauges wasn't working or something, but he offered it to me for this stream, but I really was like, I've tested all it works. I have a habit of updating things before streams and then it never works properly, so I know there's a hotfix here. There's not too many things that has to be fixed, there's not many things on it, but it handles really, I guess, authentically. Right, well, I reckon we reached around, what, say 1,500 feet? Hard to tell. But there is the port of Dover. There is what would have been Dover Castle, what should be Dover Castle. And what I'm thinking of, and what I did on my test runs, guys, you see there's a little strip of land here, like someone's farm road. That, I found, is quite a nice place to attempt landing, because it is not flat here, because here's the next problem with this aircraft. No brakes, so if you land downhill, you ain't stopping, alright? So you need to find somewhere that's either flat, or has a very, very slight upslope. Not so much of an upslope, so when you stop, the aircraft starts rolling backwards. And on my test runs, I used this little strip of land here, just there, and I landed just to the right of it in this little bit of grass field here. So that's what I'm going to aim for, just there. And that is very close to the original landing point for Dover Castle there. So what I'm going to do is now start lowering the power to idle-locate. Now I can't go all the way back, because if I go all the way back, the engine cuts out. So you've got to be very careful of the engine management. Can I get top of descent and chat, please? Here we go. Right, slowly lower the power. Can you hear that? And down she goes, because it's not in. There's no trimmer, so it was kind of maintaining that attitude of speed. And we are now descending, guys. So you've got to really think about your turns here. You can't just quickly turn. You know, turns are well orchestrated, planned manoeuvres. Well, certainly in my case, not well orchestrated. Just kind of falling sideways, but I am attempting to turn right a little bit here. So if you use a little bit too much rudder, then let go, it just swings in the opposite direction. See, like that when you go neutral. So it's very, very difficult. Right, would you like a approach briefing? There we are. Slowly descending. And that's it. Am I going to go for a swim now? If you look directly below us, there are the white cliffs. And we now have a land. Brilliant. Absolutely awesome. Right, let's jump back into the flight deck. Of course we want a briefing. Oh dear. Right, well, we're going to slowly descend, and if you have just tuned in for this landing, we are going to attempt to land on this just to the right of this kind of strip here, in this field there. So I'm going to kind of go in this direction. I'm going to do like a long 270-degree turn to line up with this point here. In the event to go around, I'll push toga, go around, full power, and we'll climb at 100 feet per minute. Hopefully there's no obstacles here. It's like a glider. You've got one shot. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So again, we're going to keep going this direction, and then we'll do that turn here, and then we'll land just to the right of that road. What is VR? Oh dear, oh dear. This is so much fun. God, this is one of my most favourite streams I think I've ever done. Right, I reckon we're at less than 1,000 feet now. It's certainly going down quicker, a lot quicker than we went up. I think we need to actually start thinking about turning right here. Oh my goodness, I'm adding a little bit of power here. Let's take a bit more power off. Oh, you've got to be so careful because you can cut the engines. You'd like a PA? Outrageous. Gear down. Unbelievable. Right, we're sort of on a base leg here. There's that road. God, this engine is really... You can just see it. You can see the cylinders moving as well. Outrageous. Guys, if you are watching a set of Real World 737 Captain Fi, the fantastic Blériot, oh no, Blériot 11 in Explain 11, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. We are on final approach to try and get this thing down. I think I'm too high now. I've got to land just here. I think I'm a bit high. I've got one shot of this. If I float, we're going to end up in these trees. And also that wind direction, I haven't even considered. I think, oh dear, might be a slight crosswind here. Blériot Jenkins, I knew someone would just make reference to that stupid video. Right, here we go guys, we're on final approach. I think I'm a bit high here. It's not descending down quick enough. Oh no. I don't want to put the nose down too fast because we're gonna end up too high. Too fast and it won't settle down. Oh, this might be okay. Alright. Here we go. I hope we're pretty much into wind here. My goodness. People at this farmhouse. I'm going to go pick up my £1,000 prize from the Daily Mail. Oh no, I didn't want that to happen. Engine's cut. Oh! Right, I quickly added power. Oh, I put the power idle. Alright, here we go. Right, I've got to get this down before I get to the trees. Now come on, hold it off. Oh, I don't care, the engine's cut. Come on. Oh, what a butter! We're down, and very, very close, I'm sure, to the original crash landing point by Blériot and his Blériot 11. Ah, we made it! Oh, well, come on, please stop. And we've made it, yes! Wow, look at that. Oh, what a fantastic flight. We're now famous. Oh dear, here comes the Daily Mail. Oh, oh my days. Look at that. We landed. How much fuel we got left? Well, I don't think that was going down correctly. Maybe that was a little fix there. Halfway through, we're going to do the next flight now.
Oh, I thought I could play Among Us now.
Oh no, we don't want to play Among Us yet. Oh wow, well look at that. We are down here. And it is now time to do the first giveaway. Okay, so we're only halfway through this stream. We still have one more incredible flight to do, and thankfully a little bit of a easier version of the Blériot 11 to fly with the Gnome engine. So we're going to do the giveaway. All you have to do, if it's your first time doing a giveaway here, is I'm going to ask a question, and all you need to do is put the answer in chat. Now please only take part in the giveaway if you have Microsoft Flight Simulator, because the prize is obviously a copy of this fantastic aircraft from Wing42. If you don't have a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator, there's very little point to taking part in the giveaway, because the prize is a code. I have 2 codes really nicely provided from Wing42 for the giveaway here. So I'm just going to set up Nightbot now, and then that way you can take part and fly this fantastic aircraft yourselves on the side. Right, let me just set this up in the background then. Okay, so keyword. Alright, the keyword is in. Don't forget it is case insensitive. You can put it in lower caps or big caps. It doesn't matter, or caps or lower caps. It's completely up to you. But the question is this. You might need Google. Alright. Louis Blériot had financed his experiments and early aircraft designs out of the profits of his successful business, making what accessory for cars? And just to make sure you answer this correctly, don't forget to put an S on the end of the word. Louis Blériot had financed his experiments and early aircraft designs out of profits through his successful business, making what accessories for cars? I'll give you a clue actually, guys, because I could just see you putting lamps. Put lights on the end. It's a giveaway. Don't put headlamps, put the other one in. Lights. Awesome stuff. Very easy giveaway. At least I didn't tell you the answer this time, which I have done before. Straight off the bat. I sort of have. Superb. I'll let that flow on down for a minute. Whilst that's going on, I'll have a little look around this incredible aircraft. Can't believe we actually made it down in one piece. It's a miracle. Oh. Looks like my Microsoft Flight Simulator is not working. So I've just turned the controller on, but that's good because we didn't do that whilst flying. There we go. You can see how it works, look. See how the aileron controls the wing wag there? Absolutely wicked. Now why is that not in the free camera view? I'm still quite a noob when it comes to camera controls here. No, still not working. I'll try it on the next flight at least. There we go, leave it in that view. Of course, the answer was headlights. Headlamps, technically, but headlights is the word I needed, so well done to everyone that's got that correct. I'm now going to roll this in Nightbot, so keep an eye out on chat, because that will tell you who the winner is. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. The winner is... Oh no! The winner is Fiona Mayer. Oh no! I'm so sorry to all of the non-members here. We're probably thinking, what on earth is going on? So Fiona Mayer is the wife of one of our members who's who's watching the stream. I'll give the prize to you, Steve Mayer. I'll let you off. Congratulations, Fiona, who has won on behalf of Steve Mayer this fantastic prize. I'll give you the key here. Look, I feel so sorry for the regular viewers who are thinking, what on earth? Fiona Mayer is the worthy winner. So yes, Steve Mayer, one of my longest members of the channel. His wife is often in the streams as well, often asking if Steve can he come and actually stop the stream because your dinner's ready. So she's actually taken part on behalf of Steve. Fantastic. I'll write down Fiona Mayer in the prize, and I'm sure Steve will be very happy to fly this aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Congratulations. Absolutely brilliant. Alright then guys, I'm going to throw you to the beat ride back screen. I'm now going to get the aircraft loaded up in Raron Airport in Switzerland. Now if you're interested in what the second flight's all about, there's two ways of checking out what it's going to be all about. Look in my video description below at the second flight, all the information's there. And also if you check out my Instagram story, it's a little screenshot from the manual that comes from this fantastic aircraft telling you all about this historic flight we're going to be replicating. The flight was completed by Jorge Chávez, I think it's pronounced, the first ever aircraft across the Alps. He sadly died on his attempt just before landing. Hopefully have a bit of better luck here, but it's fantastic that we can replicate these historic flights in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Guys, I'll be back in around 5 to 10 minutes. See you shortly. Well, thanks a lot for that intermission. Here we are back in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've repositioned the aircraft now to Switzerland. We're currently in Raron Airport, which is very close to Brieg. Excuse my pronunciation here, which is where the beginning of the next flight we're replicating took part in 1910. Now, what we are replicating now was a flight accomplished by Jorge Chávez, or Chavez, I'll try and pronounce here, following in his footsteps to fly across the Alps. And he flew this in the Blériot XI as well. And this one, compared to the earlier version, has an engine which is twice as powerful as the one we had before. It is basically like the Ferrari of the Blériot XI range. It is much more powerful. The rate of climb is nearly 3 times better, 250 to 300 feet per minute. The controls are much easier as well. Again, I think that's for 2 reasons. One, the power of the engines making the rudder and the elevator more effective. Secondly, I think there's a little bit of inherent stability added in by Wing42 to make people who are new to the aircraft make it fly a little bit easier. Nothing compared to the aircraft we flew. If we tried to attempt to do this in the aircraft we just flew across the channel, it would be absolutely impossible. Now, there's several liveries to choose from, all based off authentic real liveries. So I went for this German-looking livery, Delta Echo Foxtrot Tango Echo, because it looks absolutely wicked with the old-school German insignia on there. And yeah, we're going to attempt this flight over the Alps. Flight time's around the same, but don't be fooled. Yes, it's a little bit easier to fly, but it's certainly not an easy challenge. I attempted this twice. The first attempt, I crashed because I accidentally got myself into a valley where I couldn't do a 180-degree turn to carry on getting higher, and I hit the side of a mountain. So it's very important when we complete this flight that we get as high as possible in the valley where there's space, and then only head off into the valley if you're confident that you're going to clear over the terrain. So again, we'll jump into the cockpit here. Just before I crack on with that, I'm just going to bring up the Navigraph charts again. We're going to be flying again. Oh yeah, best thing to do, guys, is check out my Instagram story, because that has my last story there. You can see the actual route that was flown by I always get his name, sorry, I've got all my notes here. Jorge Chávez. We're going to fly the exact route he flew. There's 2 options he chose. He chose, I think it was Route 1 on the day. And the weather the weather on the day was absolutely perfect when he tried this event here. So you can already see in the cockpit it's a little bit different. Parts of the engine here, fuel tanks. I mean, this is only a few years afterwards, but yeah, as I said, it's twice as powerful as the one we just flew here. And the engine start procedure is a little bit different. Also, the engine management as well. It doesn't have a conventional mixture lever. I found at this high altitude, especially when you get higher as well, you really want to have the Gnome Omega engine fuel control pretty much nearly at cut-off for it to gain maximum power, because as you climb the power seems to drop off, but when you put the mixture very close to idle cut-off, it seems to get a little bit more power, enough that you need to at least clear the mountains here. Right, let's get the show on the road then. I'm just going to get the guidance for the manual that's included in how to get this engine started. So make sure firstly that the wheel chocks are in place. They are. Again, there's no brakes, no control on the ground, although Wing42, the developer of this aircraft, has added the ability for you to actually taxi this aircraft for a bit of fun, so you can actually do that there. But the first aircraft we flew was as true to the original one as it could be. No taxiing possible at all. You said bicycle bell. Is that a bicycle bell? Said Bloodline. That's the Magneto. And again, like the version we just flew here, the throttle control's useless, so you don't just like add power to climb and reduce power to slow down or descend. To slow the engine down, you leave it at full power, and you just basically flick the magneto off and on to basically stutter the engine. That was the only way to get the power to be reduced so you could descend here. So yeah, it's a complete, everything you know about flying, spin it around on your head. It's very different in these early days of aviation. So it says here, make sure the chock's in place. Open either one or both of the fuel valves on figure 5. So we'll open both of them. That's what I've been doing when I've been testing this. That's done. This is so cool, guys. So here is a hand pump, alright. What we need to do, we need to bring up the fuel pressure by pumping this in. And what's actually simulated is the pressure increasing. So you watch this. If I push one push in, it's very easy. But as I put the second pusher in, it gets harder and harder until the point where I have to move my mouse loads. Because the pressure's built. It's so cool. So I have to do several kind of clicks here to push this in. I probably overpressurized it now. But what a nice little touch that is. I'm actually going to use the mouse wheel There we go. So we've added some fuel pressure into the engine somehow. Again, I don't exactly know how that works. So cool. Crank open the airflow and fuel flow. That's the throttle and mixture. So what I'll do, I'll put that in around half, and then the mixture, I've assigned that here. I'm going to put that to the kind of mid position, and I found as we climb we need to bring that further back to increase power, and then switch the propeller view and swiftly move the propeller to start the engine. Alright, here we go, clear prop then. We're in business, guys! Oh yes. So this has the cylinders, I think, rotate with the engine, but so, you know, it's twice the power of the aircraft we just flew in. Let's jump on in. I know that Wing42 said this feature he's going to fix as soon as possible. I think he realised it wasn't working because there's a hot fix coming out tonight. I believe he's already provided me with it, but I was daring enough to try it. But I think the oil pressure, you can see the oil coming in this gauge right now. So that's done. And that's it. I think we're ready to go. It's pretty much flying the same way as before. There's no aileron, so wing warping is the only way to go. So, guys, let's just have a little look at our flight plan here. I'll pop it out here so it's not quite as loud. There we go. So here we are. The actual original flight took off from, I think it's close here to Brieg. There, that's where the original flight took off from. So a little bit further west, but we're going to fly right over the top of where the original flight took part. And this is our destination here, guys. It is Domodossola. So again, if you reference my Instagram story, you can see the exact route which is flown on the day. But what we're going to do is fly into the valley here, and then we're going to climb in the valley, do a few circles until we get high enough, and we essentially follow this road which is along the valley here. And need to keep climbing at certain stages. We need to climb to get over the mountaintops, which is around 6,000 feet or so. I don't know the exact elevation here, but we're far too low. We need to clear if we go back into Microsoft Flight Simulator all the terrain here and some mountains beyond that. So it's going to be really, really something quite interesting. So again, massive thank you to Wing42 who gave away a free copy for me. She's just got to Fiona Mayer, but don't forget I'll be doing another giveaway after landing, hopefully in Domodossola. I can't pronounce my Italian. Domodossola, and also we're going to do the quiz on the descent into Domodossola, which takes absolutely ages. So here we go, guys. Get your togas in chat. Let's put on full power. Right, full power set. And look at the acceleration of this compared to the earlier aircraft. Look, we're already going. Off we go. Right, jumping into the cockpit. Turn the engine down again slightly. It's so much easier to control already. Well, I say that. Swinging over the place here. And we are airborne. We're going to stay a little bit lower just to take advantage of ground effect here. I'm just going to turn down Microsoft Flight Simulator, guys. Sorry. Not that low. There we go. How's that? How's the volume now? Please let me know in chat. Anyway, we are airborne. Off we go now to Italy. And you can already see, compared to my last flight, much easier to control. And we're airborne. We were brave enough to go to the Excel. Like I said, the performance isn't outstanding, but compared to the Anzani powered version, much better. Again, I think I completely mispronounced that. Slow down, said Lost Trucker. I know. We're on our way.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Thank you very much, Abby Coyote, for the $15. That's very generous.
I enjoy your streams very much.
Oh, thank you very much, Abby Coyote. Yes, I'm glad you enjoyed the stream tonight. Certainly, what a pleasant respite this is from the usual one. I love doing all the streams here, but this is so much fun. I cannot wait to fly some more classic aircraft for you guys in Microsoft Flight Simulator and X-Plane 11. I can't believe I've not done it before. This is brilliant. Amazing. So yeah, there is a little altimeter here. This actually does have an instrument. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's something I've done. It doesn't seem to be working, probably because it's 110 years old, but I'm sure that's something Wing42 will fix on an upcoming patch. I think he's already got a hot fix, which I think has fixed it. But yeah, there's a very basic altimeter here. Don't forget the anti-ice. Do cross the pond in this. Is the gear up? Unbelievable. Ooh, I need to stop looking at chat here and make sure I know where we're going. Cool. So again, making reference to Navigraph, again I know it's cheating, but here comes Brieg. Remember, this is where the original flight we're replicating took off from. Unfortunately, there's no airstrip there we could have started on, but we're very, very close here. We're over the little Swiss town of Visp, and we're going to head off towards Brieg, and then before we head down this valley, we need to get some height here. You can see, look, we're barely climbing as it is, but we've got a few more 1,000 feet to go. But I'm sure you can already see, in comparison to the earlier Anzani-powered Blériot XI, which went across the channel, much more power here, twice the power, twice the performance pretty much, and it's already easier to control. You need noise cancelling headset with these engine sounds. Very loud. I mean, it's so loud, I can't even play music in the background. So cool. So here is Visp heading on below us. Let's look under the aircraft. There we are. And there's a little bit of snow around. I don't know if that's Microsoft Flight Simulator just taking into account the time of year, but it's fantastic to see a bit of snow in a simulator. So cool. I'm not turning on snow. The weather I put just on perfect weather, guys. No wind and a few clouds. That's actually true to how this aircraft was flown on the day. It was very nice weather reported. But yeah, here's Brieg. We're going to carry on down the valley to be on the eastern side of Brieg before we start circling to go into the valley to carry on route there. Wicked. What's the cruise speed for this one? I'm glad you asked, John Kessler. I've got all my notes here. We can compare it to the previous version. So, comparing the previous Anzani-powered Blériot, that had 25 horsepower. This
40,
one has 50 horsepower,
20,
twice the power.
10.
Thank you very much, Tom Rowe, for the £5 donation there.
Love the streams. Here's some money for a pair of ear defenders.
Outstanding. Thank you very much, Tom Rowe, for your £5 donation. Very kind. Definitely needed that. But I doubt the guys at this period of time really cared too much about ear defenders, and I think part of the aircraft was in fact made out of asbestos. So, not too much care was given back then. But thank you very much, Tom Rowe, for your £5. Very kind. Right, a couple of comparisons then. We're in the... What's this engine called in this one? I always forget. The Gnome Omega 7 engine. The previous aircraft we did across the channel there was in the Anansi W3 engine, but this has twice the horsepower. Previous aircraft cruise speed was 32 knots, it's now 42 knots. Maximum rate of climb in the previous aircraft 100 feet per minute, we can now do 250 to 300 feet per minute. This is the big one, right? Ceiling on the previous aircraft across the channel was 2,000 feet. Maximum ceiling in this aircraft is 16,000 feet. And they actually took one of these up to 16,000 feet. I mean, we got to get to at least 6,000 feet today anyway. And the range as well, nearly 3 times the range as well. 52 miles in the original Anzani W3 engine powered Blériot. And this one has a range of 134 miles. There you go, look at those figures, guys. Wicked. So passing over Visp, next comes the small village of Brieg. There we go. So there's Brieg, and there is that valley we need to fly down. But again, guys, we're going to have to do some orbits and turns in the valley here to be able to get some height here. Freckles, my hamster probably outputs more power. Probably. Right, am I brave enough to do a little bit of a showcase for you? Yes, I am. Look at this. I can quickly press C anyway and get control of the aircraft if I cut into difficulties here, so it's so much more stable than the earlier one. You can pretty much let go of it, but look at us go. I'm looking good. He's absolutely petrified. I can't blame it as well. Oh gosh, I've got to take control here. Ugh. The wing. I'll try and demonstrate the controls with the wing warping here. So obviously rudder we're used to. That's the yaw, and you see it's very stable in comparison to the earlier one. But the aileron, look at this. Heck, you see how the wing's warping there? And that's how they control roll in earlier builds of aircraft. There's no ailerons, but this was the first heavier than powered aircraft which has the sort of design that we recognise today. That's the elevator, rudder, and wings at the front here. Obviously, all the previous ones had an opposite system like the Wright brother fly. I mean, this aircraft first flew only 6 years, remember, after the Wright brothers flew the Wright fly in 1903. Right, back into the cockpit. The original roll control, John Kessler, absolutely wing warping. Oh my goodness me! Right, you still have to be on the ball though. I can't keep looking at chat. Anyway, coming up here on the right, this is the valley we're going to fly down to, but we're far too low at the moment. We're going to have to do a few orbits and circles in the valley here to climb higher. And what I need to do actually is lean this mixture slightly. And the mixture controls are just here, just to get a bit more power out of this engine. So you watch this, look. It's not doing it yet, but when you start leaning this at higher altitude, you'll notice the engine runs a lot smoother. See the little lever moving here? I'm not entirely sure how it works compared to, say, a mixture, but I found on the test flights I was struggling to climb, but I moved that lever back and all of a sudden the engine sounded much better. It didn't sound like it was misfiring as much, but we'll see how we get on. Lovely view, I know, that's why I really want to do this flight. It looks absolutely stunning in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, look at it. The detail of this thing is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Steve, is it safe to raise my head yet? Just about, Steve. Steve, are you looking forward to getting a copy of this as well? Congratulations for winning. I'll tell your wife, Mrs. Mayor. Right, anyway, over Brieg in Switzerland. I have no idea if anyone from Brieg is watching, or if anyone from Switzerland is, but if you hear that racket outside, it's us in our old school aircraft, the Blériot XI. And that's where we need to head down, guys, but you can see that we're far too low at the moment. We've got some serious height to gain yet. But if you look back, can you actually see the airfield where we took off from? No, we can't, but you know, we've probably already climbed 1,500 feet. Sim looks so beautiful, I know. Microsoft Flight Simulator is obviously visually stunning. I don't dare turn live weather on, just imagine. I think the next challenge in this aircraft, we should do another stream in live weather conditions. Probably in this version, though, not the earlier one. That is so challenging to fly. This aircraft is perfect to appreciate the quality of the sim. It can get more low and slow than the Blériot XI. You can't get more slow. Absolutely, Wing42. This is the perfect aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator to take in the scenery. Don't forget as well, guys, we're going to do another giveaway of this aircraft after landing, hopefully, in Domodossola. And also we're going to do the quiz in the descent, because all that height we gain, I will need to lose at some point as well. And that does take some serious amount of time, so I will attempt to run a quiz whilst also flying this aircraft. And as I said, this one's a lot more stable. You can sort of leave it. There's no trim, unfortunately, but what you can do, like I have done now, is just set the attitude for the kind of in-trim speed which is fixed, and then you very much have to make very few pitch changes. It's just roll and aileron. That's what you have to, roll and yaw that you have to do to control the aircraft there. So yes, as I said, we need to head off in this direction eventually, but what I'm going to do is just head towards this mountain and make a right turn and just kind of orbit in this area here just to gain as much height as possible. And this is what I love about doing this particular stream. You know, 110 years ago, you know, what's his name? I keep forgetting this poor guy's name. He was doing the very same thing 110 years ago. Mr. Javier. Jorge Chávez, sorry. Jorge Chávez was doing this thing 110 years ago. That's what's so awesome. Still flies faster than an A340. I know, they're super underpowered. Or the BAE 146 on mention the Discord. Awesome. Right, so what I'm going to do is start making a right turn in the valley here. Dominic Troxler, the Simplona... Oh. Your comment disappeared. Oh, there it is. The Simplon Pass is the highest point on your route and is around 6,600 feet high, so you still have to climb a little bit. Thank you very much, Dominic, for those facts, and I think it even mentions that in the little tutorial here. Now, I actually don't know the elevation of the airfield we departed from here, but that's exactly what it says in the tutorial that comes with the manual when you want to replicate this flight. It says make sure you climb to at least 2,000 metres to pass over the height there. But we have no working altimeter, unfortunately. It's frozen. So I'm sure that will be fixed in an upcoming release. So as I said, we're just going to head. We're not going to head off in that direction just yet. We do need to climb a little bit higher yet, guys. Carib 972, where can I download it? This aircraft is payware. It costs just €20. The link for that is available in the video description below. It's from Wing42. Yeah, I mean, it's just fantastic. I mean, what an aircraft, my first ever payware aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's an absolute banger. It's absolutely brilliant. I think there's nothing more rewarding than flying period aircraft like this and completing flights. There was a real sense of achievement from just completing that flight in the English Channel, because it is so challenging to learn to fly. I had an absolute blast this morning and this afternoon, doing a couple of test runs. So much fun. We're doing really well here. Now, how fast are we going? Well, the cruise speed of this aircraft is 42 knots, which I think whilst we're climbing here about 32, but that is a real guess here. When I look down, you can see we're making slow, steady progress as we move. Yeah, we've got some serious height to gain, guys. So we're not going down the valley just yet. Again, just to show you on the chart. References to this for you. Get it to open, that is. Now, why is that? Well, there we are. I'll show you guys in a second. Guys, is the sound alright? Because I can barely hear the alert box there. I hope it's not too loud. You can hear me okay. Who was that coming in as a member? Thank you very much to Bounce NL, who's just joined as a member. Glad you joined the content, sir, and you'll get invited to our members only Discord. And we'll be able to ask questions like, how on earth do I learn to fly the Blériot 11? Ask the wrong person, but I hope you enjoy it. Enjoy your custom modes and chats as well. Thank you very much, buddy. Very funny Thomas Plant. Thanks, David Wake. Just a tad too loud, said Commander Jenna Hofer. Okay. Turn that down one more notch. How's that? Is that better now? That should be a little bit better. Because I could barely hear what I'm thinking with the engine there so loud as well. Right, again, we need to head off in that direction eventually. We just have a little bit more height to gain.
$50, $40, $30,
better now.
$20, $10.
Thanks a lot, Blind Eye 1995 for the €5 donation. Very kind.
Would love to see you make a review of the movie Airplane. This is sponsored by the German taxpayer. Lost my job due to Corona.
What's that, Blind Eye 1995? You'd like me to make a review of the movie Airplane? This is sponsored by the German taxpayer because I lost my job due to Corona. Well, I'm sorry you've lost your job due to that, whatever your circumstances are. And you'd like me to make a review of the movie Airplane? Oh, okay. Things often fly past my head whilst I'm streaming. I'm probably missing the point of this something here, but God, thanks for the donation anyway, and I hope you're enjoying the flight. Oh my. Cheers, Bansanel. Take my cancer's perfect, thank you. Alright, so there we are. We've just done a 360 then. We're going back on ourselves. And we are slowly climbing. Remember, we came in this direction. We've done a 360 in the valley, and we are getting higher. And we'll soon head off in this direction to go down the valley. There we are again. So that was our start point here. And, just to show you where we are, there's Geneva, Genoa in Italy, Milan. Our destination is here, Domodossola. I'm actually landing in an airfield there, very close to the point at where Jorge Chávez crashed, unfortunately. And I'm sure if he was alive now, he'd be watching this thinking, wow, just imagine if these guys can see not only the advancement of aircraft technology, but the fact you can sit at home in a desktop simulator and replicate any form of flying to pretty much incredible realism. It's so awesome. Wing42, Old Rhinebeck has 2 or 3. There's even one about 50 kilometres from where I live. Yeah, I think Wing42, I was looking, you definitely know, but there's 2 examples in the world flying. One in the UK, as part of the Shuttleworth collection, which still flies, and the one in Old Rhinebeck you mentioned as well, which is it's so cool that there's a couple of these flying. But I think all they do is just take off and land in a straight line. They don't actually turn or anything. It's so challenging to do any of that. Anyway, I'm just going to check this fuel mixture lever just to lean this off. So I'll show you what happens, look, briefly. If I go full rich, listen to the engine. Can you hear that? Doesn't sound good, does it? But if you bring that, it's going to cut off, bring that back to near the point where it cuts off. See, the engine seems to run a little bit smoother. So I'll leave it around there. That's what I did on my test flight. And what I'm actually going to do now, I'm feeling brave enough to head off into the valley, because we're going to head off in this direction, and then we're going to be making a left turn very shortly to make our way down here. So here we go. There we are. So heading off in this direction down the valley. We'll make a left turn shortly. You can see out the window we'll be making that left turn. And then we'll probably try and cut this corner here, but we'll make our way down. To get to around 6,000 feet or so. I reckon we've climbed up to around 4,000 feet. And this is where I need to be a bit careful, because if I've overshot this slightly, you'll find that there's not enough room to manoeuvre to climb any higher, so you've got to be a little bit steady. Gordon Smith, can I ask what joystick you're using, please? If you look in the video description of any of my streams, you'll find all of my information there. I have the Airbus Thrustmaster TCA for this particular aircraft, or aka a lump of wood, if it was the real thing. Now, one thing that's worth bearing in mind here, there's no artificial horizon. You can get yourself very disorientated, because you might be looking at a hill thinking, oh, I'm straight and level, but you're actually not, because the hill's sloped. And if you look out the window here, it looks like we had climbing very steeply because of the mountain and the upslope there, but we're not. We're actually pretty much climbing level, you know, with a slight nose pitching up attitude. So you've got to be very careful in that situation. And there is the road, which threads its way down the valley, but we've got a little bit more height to gain yet. And we're going to kind of cut across this bit very shortly. So I might do another orbit in this little valley here to gain a little bit more height. Absolutely fantastic. Thomas Black joystick equals wooden leg from the bed, oh dear. Oh, BertFella365. Now, I think, did you message me on Facebook or was it an email? I've got so much come through the week here. Welcome to the stream. So if you want to join as a member, there should be a join button. I don't know if it's on mobile yet, but if you're on your PC, there should be a join button there. That's how you do join. It's quite easy to do, and then if you have any further issues, drop me a message on social media or email, however you did originally, and I'll get you all sorted there. Right, so I'm actually heading a little bit back in the direction of where we came from, because I just need a little bit more height here, guys, before I head off in this direction to go down the valley. It's flight. You don't want to screw this up, because once you kind of go down there, you're very limited when it comes to manoeuvrability in space. But, you know, look at how high we are. We started our day, look, down here. I mean, can you see the airfield? I think you can. Look. That's where we started. You see the runway? Just there. Thank you very much, Curtis Rich, who's just joined as a member. Glad you joined the content. You'll get invited to our members-only Discord. Enjoy your custom emojis in chat as well. I'm sure you're probably not the sort of individual who might enjoy those, but you'll get invited down to the Discord where everything happens, and you'll be able to enjoy the experience you have there. Thank you very much indeed. Simon Lumens, how's that engine sounding? Yeah, it's sounding okay, similar to what it did whilst testing. again, look, I'll just demonstrate. Look, if you go fully rich, it really does run very roughly. So if you go there, look. You hear that? Sounds like it's about to cut off. So I've been putting it about here. There you go. That's running a bit smoother now. So I've been... Yeah, I mean, I think... I've no clue, but I think it sounds better than it did. So we're going to leave that there. And now, can I make that point here? I reckon we're going to have a crack going down the valley now, left. If it's not looking good, this is the direction we're going, remember. If it's not looking good, we'll have to just, again, keep auditing, keep gaining that height. We are still climbing, by the looks of it, even though our altimeter has frozen.
50, 40, 30, 20.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Bookspeaks. Very kind.
Been meaning to drop you a thank you for a while. Safe skies, cat.
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Bookspeaks. Well, it's no problem at all. A lot of regular subscribers who watch and enjoy the content, I never expect any donation for anyone. But that's very much appreciated. Thank you very much for the £10, and I hope you're doing very well, Mr. Mookspooks, wherever you are. And thank you very much for dropping in. Thank you. And I'm glad you enjoyed the content during... No doubt, I don't know where you are, Mr. Mookspooks. Mr. Mookspooks. But if you're in lockdown, I hope I'm making it a little bit more bearable for you. Cool. So, cheating again. They obviously didn't have the beauty of graph charts back in 1910. But you can see that we're kind of cutting across here to make this valley. And then we're going to join that valley just slightly on our right here to fly down here. So yeah, we gain the height just to make it past here. I reckon we're probably around 5,000 feet at a rough guess. And we'll say goodbye to the Swiss town of Brieg, and we'll be at some point crossing over to the Italian border. Oh, Mr. Bookspeaks very much locked down. Oh no. Oh, Pilot Mike's here as well. I haven't seen you and popped in a stream for. I hope you're doing well, buddy. For those of you who are new to the stream, Pilot Mike's a very good friend of mine. He was a 787 first officer, and he also spent his spare time helping answer many of the questions in my Discord. We have also a type-rated 737 pilot there as well, who's also a member. Great guys. The regular members who have various trades and facets and knowledge to answer a wide variety of questions there. Awesome stuff. And don't forget as well, guys, we still have our quiz, and we also have our last giveaway to do. The quiz and the giveaway are not linked. Your quiz is just to make sure you get immortalised as quiz champion forever. So anyone plays this stream back in the future and goes, wow, I wish I was the quiz champion for the Blériot XI stream. It'll be like that. It's amazing. Why is there a wheel on the yoke? That's a good question. I think that was just their idea on an earlier design of how you should have it here. There's no function, it's kind of screwed in or bolted in there. But I mean, this is just a very early aircraft design and conception, so obviously it changed into a more stick-like shape soon after. Timothy members, how do you join his my Discord? My Discord is purely for members only, so you'd have to join as a member first, and just that way, you know, we don't get any Tom, Dick and Harry joining, so that's why you have to do that. It's not that command, I know. Right, so we've gained all that height, and we can now make it into the valley. Now you imagine if we went straight into this, we'd never have cleared this ridge here. Oh look, I remember seeing this on the test flight as well. There's a wind farm here, and I'm pretty sure that proves that we're not flying in the correct period. I forgot to set my simulator to 1910. It's generating a small amount of electricity this morning. There we are, we've made the height, and we can now fly safely, I hope, into the valley. And we'll keep climbing. An interest do you prefer explained on Microsoft Flight Simulator? I really don't have a preference, it depends what you want to do. For commercial airliners, right now, the sim you want is Explain 11 or Prepared, but again, over those two sims I prefer Explain 11 because of the dynamics of how it feels and the weather and that sort of stuff here. If you want to be doing flying like this, GA or light aircraft or anything like that, and I'm sure in time commercial airliners would be great. This is the sim you need to be. I mean, it's just absolutely stunning. I can just load the sim up. I've got this beautiful ortho scenery all there, downloaded, ready to go. It's absolutely fantastic. There we go. Ah, Bert fella, you managed to work it out. Welcome on board as a member. Amazing. Perfect. And if you have any issues trying to get into the Discord, drop me a message on social media or email. I can't remember how it was. We were communicating before, and we'll get you all sorted. And to all the members that joined today, to get into the Discord, you need to make sure your Discord and YouTube is synchronized with each other. If you type in Google Discord YouTube synchronization, follow the steps on the top link, and then make sure when you do sync it, you use the don't use the desktop or mobile version of Discord. Use the web browser app. Don't know why. For some reason, that's the only way it works. But yeah, welcome aboard to all the new members today. Thank you very much indeed for the support. I hope you enjoy your time as a member. There we go. It would be so cold up here as well. So cold. But this version is much easier to fly. Much easier. And we should be landing, I'd say, in around 25-30 minutes. And we now just essentially follow the valley all the way to Domodossola. Domodossola. Isn't any Italians here? Domodossola. Very, very good. Captain K, are there any instruments in this bird? We have one instrument, it's an altimeter, which is currently not working. In fact, I'll see if I get in a little bit closer. I'm sure that'll be fixed in an upcoming hotfix or update. But there we have the Nord Paris Aviation Militaire, and I think this reads in, don't know, hundreds of meters or feet? Not sure, but currently it's either frozen or it's rusted out. Oh yeah, one of the earliest ever instruments that partner had the ability to use. Listerman, Domodossola. Or is that how I'm saying? Oh dear. Mr. McSpook's cracking in the banter. We are going to Domino's. I'll have a large. Outstanding. Again, just showing where we are, guys. Let me load up my nav charts, can't see it at the moment. There we go. So we're down the valley, passing over Simplondorf, Gondo. We're then going to cross the border into Italy, Varzocola, and then we're going to be landing at an airstrip just north of Domodossola. Brilliant. Wing42, it does work since the hotfix, fantastic. So if anyone was to buy that now, you'd see this version, which I didn't think had any problems whatsoever. It's just very subtle things that have been changed to make sure it's working even better. Brilliant. Yes, it's in hundreds of meters, said Wing42. Very good. We used to use it to spell letter D. We say D, gum, Domodossola. Ah. Tom Asplund, did you confirm you had your passport before taking off? Fantastic. And another thing I was reading up about the cross the channel flight by Louis Blériot. When he landed in Dover, he had no passport, he had no documentation whatsoever. And as part of that landing, what they had to do, I think they got the dockmaster from Dover so he could actually put him in as a ship that arrived, because it was the first time an aircraft had ever flown. It was the first ever international flight. It was the first ever time an aircraft had crossed a large body of water, and it was the start of everything we know today. That's why I love this stream's been so fun preparing, reading into all this history. It's been so fascinating. Right, well, we're climbing really well now. A little better than on the test flight. I was a little bit lower when I came into the valley last time. I was risking getting a bit close to the terrain here, so yeah, we're just going to follow the valley down. It's a left turn to follow this valley. Don't make a right turn because you just go towards higher mountains. Super tight for 173, the Gnome engine, 80 horsepower, it has 50 as. Wing42 has just answered. I think there were some later versions of the Blériot 11 which had up to, I think it was like 150, 160 horsepower engines. Can you imagine that in comparison to the 25 horsepower engine we had in the first aircraft and I can never pronounce this goddamn word. In the Anzani powered engine. I need to write that down in front of me. Anzani. And there you go. Look, take your eye off the ball 1 minute, 1 second, and you're heading towards a mountain. It's just constant inputs needed. Sure, you imagine when you did this. Outrageous. Can you explain the pneumatic system of this aircraft? I can't. I don't even know they even had any pneumatic systems back in 1910. Heading off towards Gondo. That's the next village along. We're still in Switzerland, just about. Absolutely stunning scenery, isn't it? What a way to view the Alps as well. Don't forget as well, we are going to do the quiz, as I mentioned, in the descent over Domodossola, because we need to lose all that height we gained. It's going to be a 5-question quiz, and then we're going to do the second giveaway, hopefully after a successful landing in Domodossola. Fantastic. Phil Brown just realised no flotation device on this one. No, you're going for a quick sink and a swim if you go for a drink. Go to the drink in this one. They're a little bit more confident. What's the altitude airspeed? I should think we're doing based off the figures. There's no indications. We have no instruments. Probably around 35 to 40 knots, and we're probably up to around 5,500, 6,000 feet now. At the same height as some clouds. I do not think this aircraft would have been certified flying clouds. But yeah, we probably actually don't need to climb too much higher. So we're just going to follow the valley round, and I think we're all clear. Thank you very much, Ralph Bottle. Great video and great commentary. I'm glad you're finding it entertaining and educational. How much fuel does it hold capacity-wise? Not too sure. I mean, you can physically see the tanks here, I think. I think one of them is an oil tank, possibly in 2 fuel tanks. Not sure. I'd be guessing. And if you look at the size of those, probably, what, I don't know, 10 litres? Might be way off. Way off, though. That's a complete guess. 20 gallons there. Yeah, well off then. Jason Bounce needed to have a pee. Yes. We'd have a little bit of a blowback though. Try and keep this clean. Aston says, I'm guessing there's no ILS on this bad boy. Absolutely not. Listen, does this yaw to the left more than the modern propeller plane? It has a tendency to keep turning left, I've found, but again, there's a little bit of inbuilt inherent stability in this aircraft compared to the one we had before. The one before, it's all over the place. In fact, there was a really interesting article I read from a pilot about 30 years ago. He'd flown the 7576 ex-US Air Force pilot, and he actually flew one of these periodically, and he said it was the most difficult thing he'd ever flown. It was so unnatural. There was inherent stability. Just wanted to yaw constantly. And he mentioned, yeah, if you bank over 15 degrees, the aircraft will descend. It's yeah, crazy. Mr. McSpooks, I think my gran has a chair like that. Who else has a gran? I like how they've got holes in it there to save a bit of weight. I can only imagine that's what it's for. Beautiful. Well, you know what? We have plenty of height here, and we're not that far away, guys. Really, we're not. Right turn. I'll show you the map here. Bring up my chart. There we go. Right turn here, look, into the valley, and there is our destination, Domodossola. Bear in mind, we started all the way here. A few orbits in this valley as well. Climbed down here, and here we go. jumping to the next valley very soon. Charles Orbit, do you talk about the Shuttleworth Collection Chief Pilot? We did mention it briefly. Again, a fantastic video on YouTube. If you type in Blériot XI in YouTube, one of the top hits there is a conversation with one of the pilots who actually flies one of the only still airworthy versions of this aircraft from the Shuttleworth Collection. Talking about how challenging it is to fly and what was different. So very interesting. Well, I've been watching all of this last night and today. Really interesting. Awesome stuff. But yeah, guys, if you want a bit of fun, and I'm not saying this because you know, Wing42 is very kindly giving me a copy and he's promoted the stream. It is an absolutely fantastic, rewarding aircraft to fly. I mean, you saw right at the start there how tricky it was. I mean, this one's a little bit easier, but there's a feeling of achievement once you've achieved a flight in this, and it really does emphasise how. And you know, you can emphasise and take in this fantastic series which Microsoft Flight Simulator has to offer, which is our planet depicted in a 3D model on your desktop simulator, which is why, you know, there's a big debate, oh, Microsoft Flight Simulator X11, they both have their perks, they both have their benefits, but to have the ability of Microsoft Flight Simulator to fly over the world in an aircraft of your choice, and an aircraft like this which lets you soak in all this fantastic scenery, you know, what a fantastic aircraft. And this one is much easier to fly. If you want to just have, you know, I'd recommend starting on this aircraft when you first fly, as Wing42 does. Much easier to fly. The first version I flew, there's three. There's essentially the Wing42 Gnome powered engine. This one, which is the easiest. There is the one we flew before in Anzani. There's an easier version, but it's not easy. But the Anzani Rest in Peace RIP version, it's just like the real thing, I believe. Based on what I've read and interpretive of how it flew, it feels like that anyway. And it was so hard, as you saw. Great experience. 10 out of 10, absolutely. Super Typhoon 173. And Wing42 says, one of the most fun projects I've worked on. I mean, yeah, you got to soak in all the history and learning about the aircraft as well, I guess. Which I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed over the past couple of days. And this is all thanks to one of my members, Finn. I don't know if he's still watching. Finley, one of my members, just said, check this out, this looks so cool. And I just thought, amazing, what a great idea for a stream. But all the documentation you provide as well, Wing42, it's wicked. It really soaks in all the history, the flights and recommended flights that you included as well, which we've done 2 of them today. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Mr. McSpix, when I worked for a job at the Shuttleworth, they asked us to help lift a Hurricane so they could fix the gear. Then gave us a cockpit tour. Very cool. Plainly, next candidate for across the pond, or will we move on to the Spirit of St. Louis? Now that would be. I mean, how long? Oh my. Oh. Well, this could be potentially disastrous. Flying into a cloud. Oh dear, let's hope we don't get any icing. Yeah, the Spirit of St. Louis across the Atlantic, Charles Lindbergh. How long did that take? And they had a massive fuel tank in front of him. You didn't have a cockpit. You had to stick your head out the window to fly it. It had a little periscope in it, didn't it? Well, I'm about to head to IMC. Let's hope there's not a mountain the other side. Oh dear, oh dear. Where did that cloud come from? Oh crap. Oh, thanks. Oh, it's a little bit bumpy in here. Is icing modelled? Might be a little bit of icing. The icing will kill us. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, anyway, guys. I think it's about time. Want to get out of this cloud here. Oh no. I hope this cloud soon disappears because we're getting quite close to the point where we'll be over the top of Domodossola. Hopefully, we'll be soon out of the cloud the other side, and we can start turning towards our destination, which is only the other side here. Oh my days. I think if we squint here, there is Domodossola, just down here. IMC without instruments. I mean, I've got nothing, but thankfully it was just a thin wisp, and we're already pretty much through. Wow, the clouds in this game, man, absolutely awesome. Wow. Well, we're through that one, guys, and we're going to now start our descent. And look at that, it's a built-up area, and if I remember rightly, the strip is just here. See it? That's where we've got to land, guys. So we're going to enter the valley and descend before landing. This is very close to where Mr. Javier's crashed fatally, and rest in peace his soul. Thanks to pioneering aviators like this, we can take advantage of go anywhere around the world whenever we want. Well, not at the moment, but soon hopefully we will be able to again. Right, so here's going to be one of my biggest challenges yet as we descend into the valley. I'm going to do the quiz now. Whilst hand flying this aircraft. Previous aircraft, you could forget it, but this one, I feel I can just about manage it. So what I'm going to do, because I don't want to climb any more, I'm actually going to start taking a little bit of power off. Now what the early aviators did to reduce power, they actually had to, see this? Flick the magneto switch to cut the engine. But I've just taken a bit of power off, and you can see, look, the nose is coming down here, and we're just going to do a gentle descent in the valley to land at Domodossola, and we're going to do the quiz. Alright. Are we descending? Actually, you know what? Let's cut the engine a bit more, and I'm also going to put the mixture lever, you see the little lever here, putting it to rich, and the engine runs a bit rough. I hope. I just want to get that engine. We just need to start descending here, otherwise we're going to be climbing forever. Oh, no, that's cuts the engine. There we go. If I leave it about there, there we go, we are starting our descent now. If I leave it about there and just do a gentle glide, top of descent, very good marks for Tobias, hopefully we'll get a landing in soon. If you're watching and you happen to be a Blériot XI pilot, which I think is somewhat doubtful, I am so sorry because I'm making a right hash of the engine management here. I have no clue how it works, but hopefully we'll start descending. Yeah, it's still wanting to climb. I don't understand. I'm at idle power, mixture fully rich. Maybe I'll have to turn it to a glider soon. But I'm going to attempt to ask the quiz questions now. Okay. And for that, I will go out here because it's a little bit easier to talk. Hopefully, we'll start descending soon. That's really not wanting to go down. Let me just put that mixture. I can't go fully rich. No, because that cuts the engine. That's better. No, not better. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Hold the quiz, guys. I've lost the engine. Right. Now, how do I get it to spin whilst it's already spinning? Uh-oh. Let me... There we go. Right, let's try not to do that again. Right, let me just keep an eye on where we are as well. Where's this airstrip? Oh, we're going to go into a bit more cloud here. I've already lost the airstrip. I know it's just north of the town. I might have to cheat. I'm going to have to cheat. There it is, it's just ahead of us apparently. There it is, there's the airstrip in the cloud. Right, so... should I do the quiz after landing? I think this might take all my capacity. I can't even get it to land. Oh dear. She needs a bit of throttle. Oh dear. Could you just side slip? I think I'm going to do the quiz after landing because it's only 5 questions. And because I usually do the quiz at 38,000 feet with the autopilot in, and I'll work on getting this aircraft down. I might do some side slips, but she's yeah, she's wanting to fly, the old girl. I can't remember what I did on my test flight to really bring that power back. That's obviously full power. And trust me, it doesn't work like a conventional aircraft. I'm trying to get it to lose power. Wing42. Anyway, what I might do is try some side slips. Let's put a rudder in. Okay, do not put rudder in. That's the first time I've tried that. My goodness. Wow. Right, well, we might be flying forever until the engine does die. Wow, I just put a little bit of rudder in, and the wing just snaps round. Whoa. Now, believe it or not, someone did actually loop this aircraft in real life, and it was successful. But we have several problems here, nearly losing control, and also getting into IMC in a valley surrounded by the Alps. So we just got to keep in mind where the aerodrome is at all times. There it is. That's where we need to land, hopefully. But I'm struggling to descend at the moment. It's either that or cut the engine. I mean, I could cut the engine. That's the only way I could go down. Or oh, I'm being an idiot. Why don't I just do what they used to do, which was just flick the magneto switch? Because that was the only way to lose power. That's better. And am I right in thinking, Wing42, this was the only way that they could lose power on the engine, I think. That's what I did on the test run anyway. So that was the only way to kind of lose power. It's wanting to descend now, at least. Well, that's better. Don't break the wings off, no. Ideally, you have set the master ignition switch event on one of your controller buttons, then you press the button intermittently. I did have that, but I actually unassigned it, so yeah. Oh, now I've lost the engine again. Damn it. Yes, so I've completely ignored Wing42's advice, which was to basically assign this to a joystick command, and you have to just flick the magneto switch. It's the only way to lose power. But I feel like gliding at the moment might not be a bad thing, because we need to lose this height. And hopefully I'll get that engine started again. Well, let me just see. Well, we're currently dead now. It's flying beautifully as a glider, that's for sure. I just want to make sure I can actually get the engine restarted. Well, if all in doubt, does Control E work? No. Okay, so we're definitely a glider now. Right. Okay. Let's see how we manage here. Ah, she spat into life on its own. Oh, we're probably going to go a bit faster. Yeah, I don't like how it's shaking. Wow. I'm just going to keep doing that. And hopefully, when I get a bit lower, I'll Control E it. Because, albeit a very simple rudimentary engine, its management is a little bit more challenging. But there is the airfield we're trying to fly at here. I'm actually putting the nose down a little bit here. I wonder what VMO was. I imagine engine fire, and this is rather unpleasant. I believe so, Toga. It's going to be right at your toes. You can hear that prop spinning. I'm going to try and do put a little bit of rudder in, and opposite aileron. There we go. So I'm making a little bit of extra drag here. That does not sound well, does it? And just kind to make reference of the aerodrome. Where's she gone? There it is, right in front of me. Look. So we'll keep descending. Don't go too fast, otherwise you'll break the guitar strings. I know. Michael or Michelle, how do you enter the competition? You don't need to worry about that at all. We're going to do the quiz with a little bit of nice music, looking at this fantastic aircraft, and then we'll do the giveaway straight away after. I just need to get this down first. The flight's gone very successfully. 2 tons of good plan, they'll never hear you coming. But we are descending now, that's for sure. Right, if I descend, let's neutralise that rudder. You see, if I go a little bit fast, I notice this on testing, look. The camera starts shaking a lot. So that would probably be exceeding. Whoa, I love it, love that. You put a little bit of yaw and you get this noise of the airflow. God. Very good. This is actually looking good for approach. I know, David Wegg. I don't know what the glide ratio of this aircraft is, but there's the airfield, look. It's strangely peaceful, isn't it? But what a beautiful model it is as well. I mean, it looks... I love all the wood, the copper. Amazing. Well, there's the airstrike. I should say we're a little bit too high here. And we'll try and get this engine working just before touchdown. And I'm not doing this aircraft any justice on how it's meant to be flown. But it's been hella rewarding, that's for sure. Tom, anyone else hear a dog barking? I don't think it's Jack. A2H, it was fly-by-wire, literally. Well, I'm a little bit high here, I fear. I obviously don't want to screw this up. Wow. You imagine the amount of times that the engine's actually died as well. Right, well, I think that's good for our final approach here. I'm going to come in, let's try and get this engine restarted. I'm cheating here. I'm control-leading, if I'm honest. Oh no, oh no, it's not going to restart, is it? Oh, come on. Don't stretch the glide. Oh no, don't tell me I've screwed this up. Oh, thank you, praise the Lord. Oh. Phew. You know what, I'm actually going to cut this anyway. As soon as I know it. Right, I think landing's pretty much assured there. Let's cut it. A nice little blip of speed just before landing. And coming a little bit fast, I think, but we'll just hold it off as long as possible. No brakes, remember. Here we go. Oh, I think I'm coming in rather hot. Oh, I am. Oh, no. Oh, I think I'll touch down. A bounce. Alright, stop. I don't have any brakes, remember. At least try and keep it on the runway. Oh. We're down. Please stop soon, though. Oh, look, there's even a bus here to pick me up. No brakes, so we're just going to hope it's not totally downhill. Am I going to make... No, I'm going to go off the end of the runway here. Come on. There's... You can actually use rudder here, but I feel for authenticity I shouldn't be using rudder. Come on, hopefully it's a little bit more... I think it's a little bit easier to stop here, hopefully. No, we're going downhill, aren't we? Right. I'm just going to use a bit of... Oh! Oh, no! Oh! Well, it would appear Microsoft Flight Simulator has put me right inside a little river or a stream. Thank you very much, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, if anyone's just joining the stream, what I'm going to do here is... can I reposition the aircraft somehow? So they'll be like, what happened? I need to turn the controller back on. So technically, is that a crash? Not really. I think it was a great landing there. Microsoft Flight Simulator all of a sudden decided to put a stream right next to me. So what I'll do, look, if anyone's just tuned in for the stream right now, they'll be like, oh, look at that. He perfectly landed with only, only a metre to spare. Better make sure we're down on the ground first. Oh, well done, Flight Deck to Sim. Great job. There we go. My first water landing. Fantastic. I give 5 out of 7, said Wing42. Not bad, but I fear my knowledge of engine management of this aircraft wasn't that great on the approach. I couldn't get it to descend, but flicking the little mag switch was very enjoyable. Right, well, unusually after a landing, we're going to do two things here because it was a little bit too much to manage both the aircraft descent and trying to do a quiz. So I'm going to put some of the music on in the background. And we're going to do the quiz now, okay? 5 nice questions for you to ask, and then you have the possibility of replacing Freckles Aviation as the quiz champion, and we'll then do the giveaway afterwards as well, where one lucky person will win a key to unlock and download this fantastic aircraft for your home flight simulator experience. Are you guys ready for the quiz? Just to take part in the quiz, all you need to do is answer the correct question in chat. Whoever answered it first, I'll put down as the first person answering the correct answer. Obviously in chat it might look like you put it in first, but trust me, I only put down who I see in chat, and on the replay you'll see who actually was first here. So here comes question number 1 on this Blériot themed quiz. Okay, here we go. We've actually answered most of the questions during the stream today. Here comes question number 1. Wing42, I hope you'll win. Probably will. Number 1, which newspaper awarded £1,000, which is £105,000 in today's money, to Louis Blériot for becoming the first aviator to cross the English Channel? What newspaper? Domino... Ooh. Sorry? Who? I'm think... Oh, Tom Baldock. I'll give that to you. It did say Daily Mail, but we do allow for subtle spelling mistakes, so well done to you, Tom Baldock, for getting that correct. Oh, of course, it's a quiz. We need to do the quiz dings. Don't forget as well, the most outrageous question, or answer to the question, gets a pretty poor ding here. So let me just load in my sounds. I usually have a bit more time to do this, but obviously I was trying to land a 110-year-old aircraft, so bear with me. So well done to you, Tom Baldock. Who got the most? John Christie put the Daily Prophet, of course, the well-known newspaper from Harry Potter. Congratulations. Well done to Tom Baldock, who's got question number 1. Here comes question number 2. All right. There is a Blériot still flying in the UK, and it's the world's oldest airworthy aircraft and part of what collection? Heat magazine. Who's going to be first here? Highbury YVR, and I only flew from the airport on a stream yesterday, Vancouver. So Highbury YVR, you are correct with Shuttleworth. Well done to you, sir. Highbury. Just need to make sure I spell your name correctly in case you win. You are correct. What's the most outrageous one we have here? We've still got correct answers coming in. Shuttleworth. Very good, very good. Well, Bavarian Eagle put the Llama collection for our fictitious rival airline. That is incorrect. Oh dear. Right, well done so far to Tom Baldock and Highbury. Vancouver. Here comes question number 3. The Blériot uses a technique called wing warping for lateral control. What do modern aircraft use? Here we go. Very good, George W.O. You are correct, answering ailerons. That is indeed how we control roll on a modern aircraft. So, George W.O., you are correct. Question number 3. Alex Ray Weber went for wing flapping. That is incorrect. Unbelievable. Dominic, I've got too much lazy answers before the question. I'm sorry. That's why we never link giveaways or prizes to the quiz, because it's very much based on your latency and internet speed. It's just a bit of fun to be immortalised in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Question number 4. Louis Blériot did not have a compass for his channel crossing, so for his visual reference, he used a 26-knot torpedo boat destroyer with his wife Alice on board. What was the name of that ship? That is a tough question. You'll need Google for that one. Louis Blériot did not have a compass for his English Channel crossing, so for visual reference, he used a 26-knot torpedo ship. What was the name of the ship? Oh, I think I'll accept Dave Hagen, Escopette with an X. It was called the Escopette with an S, so I'll accept that one. Well done to you, Dave Hagen. Fantastic. Noah? No, that is not correct. USS Enterprise as well. Outrageous. Right, so here comes the last question. So far we have 4 people who've answered correctly. There will be a 5th question. If there's still a tie after 5, we'll ask a bonus question. Whoever out of the 5 has got one correct will win the quiz. So here comes another very tough question. Google will be very much your friend. What was the name of the first female pilot to cross the English Channel, which was also in a Blériot 11? What was the name of that first female pilot? I want the surname and the first name, please. No, oh no! George W.O., you are correct. And that also means George W.O., having answered 2 questions correctly already, you are the winner of today's quiz. The answer was Harriet Quimby. Absolutely massive congratulations to you. You've been immortalised in this quiz forever. I'm afraid you haven't won the aircraft. We've had to do that now. So congratulations to you. I did see someone say something outrageous. I'm going to go with Gertrude. That was not the name of the person. Actually, that's not too bad an answer, because that's a very typical answer for that period. Yeah, we still got people answering the first question. Titanic. Money Penny by Paul Clark. That is incorrect. Right, well, very well done to you, George W.O. You'll see right before your eyes. I'll immortalise you now into this stream forever by putting you as the quiz champion. So just bear with me 2 seconds. Overlay, design, quiz champion. I'm getting rid of this mouse so soon. Sorry, Freckles, your time was fun and you were immortalised for a week, but now it is now George W.O. who is becoming the quiz champion. So I'll type your name right before your eyes. It was George _ capital W _ capital O. And that is now done. There you go. Well done to George W.O. Guys, still not finished yet. We have one more giveaway to do just before we end this stream, and what a stream it has been today. So for the giveaway, just like the first one, all you need to do in chat is answer put the correct answer when I ask this question. It'll be a very easy question. You'll have a minute to type that in as well, so give you plenty of time. We'll then spin the Nightbot giveaway, and then that will then tell me who the winner is. And all you need to do is get in contact with me through social media. I'll then give you the key you need to apply at the checkout to be able to get your free copy of this aircraft. And if you have any problems, you can either contact me or the developer directly. They've very kindly said if there's any problems, let Wing42 know. So here we go. Just going to enter that word into the giveaway box now. So just give me 2 seconds. So I have to refresh it because it's a second giveaway. It still have the original giveaway up at the moment. Right, let's enter that keyword. And that word is this. There we go. And here comes the question, guys. Alright, so we'll have a look at the aircraft as well. Give you a little bit of a clue. There we go. I'm a professional streamer. trying to get into the camera drone there. There we go. So here comes the question, alright. The Blériot XI was the first successful powered and piloted single-winged aircraft. A single-winged aircraft is also known as what? I'll give you a clue. A two-winged aircraft is known as a biplane. A single-winged aircraft is known as a what? Pop that answer in chat, and you'll then have a chance of winning this fantastic rendition of the Blériot XI. It is case insensitive, lowercase, uppercase, doesn't matter. You only need to do it once as well. Putting it twice doesn't make you any more likely to win. It is completely randomly generated. Very good. It looks like the correct answer is coming in very thick and fast. I do hope you have a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and of course if anyone doesn't come forward to claim it, I'll then run the quiz again on social media or something like that, or on the next stream there, to give away the key. Right, of course the answer is monoplane. That is what we call a single-winged aircraft, a biplane being two. And what I'm going to do now in Nightbot is roll the giveaway. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. The winner is Ledos. Well done to you, Ledos, who has no profile picture. I sure do hope you have a copy of Microsoft Flight Simulator. It should pop up in Nightbot. Nightbot should say, well done, the winner of the giveaway is Ledos there. So congratulations to you. What you need to do with Ledos is get in contact with me through social media so I can give you the key which you can use at checkout to download a free copy of the Wing42 Blériot XI. So I still hope you're here. He's not actually sent a message at the moment. He's complete in shock and awe for winning. Very good. No messages from Ledos. He still can't believe it. Well, I hope you're still here, guys. If he's not here, what I'll do, I will rerun it. at a later date in any stream, and if it doesn't reply there, I usually get a reply from someone there. But is he here? He is here. And I have the key. I bought the key for an extra key here, so it's all ready to go. So if he doesn't reply, no message. 1 minute 30 seconds. Oh dear. Right. Well, if he doesn't claim it, next stream, whatever we're flying, I'll re-roll it because I have the key already. It just needs to be applied at checkout. Everyone's going, let us! I've done, what, 40, 50 giveaways since I've been streaming. Everyone always replies instantly. I'll leave it just in case he had to shoot off or anything. But as I said, this is a giveaway I must give away because I've got this key. It's useless without it here. Maybe his internet is down, absolutely. Either way, hopefully he'll get in contact with me. And we're going to call it a day. Guys, what did you think of that? I thought it was absolutely brilliant. What a fantastic aircraft. A massive shout out to Wing42 who's been here for the whole stream for not only promoting the stream I was doing today, but also giving away one of the copies of this aircraft to Fiona May, who won earlier, who Steve's obviously going to enjoy using. Hopefully Fiona might learn to fly, and hopefully our friend Ledos will get in contact with his copy as well. If not, I'll do the giveaway next stream for another copy of this aircraft. Guys, again, to everyone that donated today, thank you very much for the support. Very much appreciated. Don't ever feel like any of you ever need or want to donate. I just enjoy the thumbing up the video, subscribe as well. That's all I ever ask as well. To all the members that do contribute monthly, thank you very much for the continued support as ever. I'll catch up with you all in Discord very soon. I think Marianne is desperate to play a bit more Among Us, so I have to give the computer up. And to all the regular viewers and subscribers, as I said, thank you very much for coming in and watching it. And no doubt, the Blériot 11 will be back again soon. It was such an enjoyable aircraft. Leave some comments in the video description below if you think of some fantastic route ideas we could do in this aircraft, because I'm very much looking forward to the challenge of flying this one, especially the one we flew across the channel, which is 5, 6, well, 7, 8, 9, 10 times harder to fly than this version. But guys, go take a look at it. I think it's only €20 to grab this aircraft. Guys, stay safe, and I'll see you all for another live stream very soon. Bye-bye for now.